What's going on, traders? Welcome to live trading with Benzinga. Let's go ahead. Let's get it started. You guys let me know how my mic is. I got a little bit of a new mixer here. Going to bring in some new value. But you guys out there, let's start off the show by first hitting a like. We're going to do some commons, YOLOs, and maybe even a little bit of crypto trading. You guys smash the like. Let's get live trading started.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher. Choi.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
All right, traders, how we doing out there? Let's go ahead. Let's bring in Ryan Faloona. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on, buddy? I gotta say, you fire me up every morning that we do this. The music, the getting all the new assets ready. I fucking love it, Mitch. I'm ready to go.
Hey, the only way, man. Good morning out there. Eric, good morning, Raul. Good morning, Andrew, Jax, Andrew, Chermo, Beats, Christian out there at Elite Trading. And love to see you guys already talking about stocks in the chat. Let's get it going. Keith, let's go ahead. Let's go. Vegas Zunaid will be joining us soon. You know, he's on a little bit of a hangover, or at least I'll call it a hangover. It's a computer hangover.
I'll call it a bender. Zunaid is on a partying Vegas bender right now. That's what he's doing.
Hey, well, can't blame him for doing so. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about the overall market. What are you seeing out there, Ryan? What's standing out to you?
We're seeing quite a bit. It's nice to have a little bit of a bounce yesterday. One of the things that I said on the happy hour show is that I think that we're probably going to retest some of those lows. So I'm going to start off here by kind of looking at a macro picture. This is a daily chart of the SPY. We bounced really nicely yesterday. We had this nice looking hammer. Thought, hey, maybe we'll trade up today. It looks like we're down here on the futures, down 266 on the Dow here. So we'll see where this ends up. The big thing here is that I didn't feel like these lows that we put in yesterday were the actual lows. 1,000-point plus swing, I think actually 1,100-point plus swing in the Dow intraday. But I'm still going to be very, very careful. I think the best move here is being very, very cautious. I'm going to be watching you on a lot of your short entries here. You think you guys have been killing that, and I still think the short game is going to be popular, especially if we pop and move up. If we look at, we're waiting for Microsoft to report later today. So I suspect that this is going to be volatile during the course of the day. I'm not sure what to make of this. The one thing that I will say is that if you're going to play earnings prints with the bear tape that we've had, I wouldn't be surprised to see several of these companies pop and go. I know we had IBM last night. Let's check how that's doing this morning in the pre-market, right? So we popped on a better than expected report, but we've pretty much traded back down to balance here. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. And then the last thing I did want to mention, APM. All right, this is another one of these little penny stocks that we've talked about before. Appeared on the scanner. We did some very basic figuring out of the different levels, and this thing actually ran for us. We spiked again here today and have come back in. So I think if we hold 222 and we get some volume building here, we actually might be able to trade up and take out that 275 to 280 area. I'm going to watch this, but I'm going to be very, very cautious. Remember, I'm not in a hurry to buy anything. I'm probably more in a hurry to short stuff. What do you see this morning?
All right, let's go ahead. Let's get to the market. Let's take a look here. I'll go ahead and see the SPY. Of course, the SPY, what's the important level for me is a monthly level. If you go off the monthly, we wanted to go ahead and see where could we find some support, right? Where do these bigger traders find support? I like this close here. This closes 438. 51 and a low of 421.97 here. Really around that 428.88 is where I'm starting to see some support. Then you see this low here, 428.78, right? Then we can go over here and we can see a low of what? 426.36 and an open of 430. Around that level, around somewhere in that 429 area, or you could even call it, let's say 428. So let's put it actually down towards 428 there. So there we have it. We have it at pretty much at 428.00. Let's put it here. This is going to be the line to watch, really, guys. If we break this line on the downside, I'm looking for downside action. Above 450, I'm looking for upside action here. So I'll actually paint this green here so that we can start looking for up above that line. Below that line, bearish. So above that, we start testing the highs here, and I'm not worried about the market anymore, and we could break through the all-time highs. Below that monthly support, that you have 3 monthly candles to go off. You got the July candle. You got right here. You got this is the September candle, and then you also got the October candle. We're going to see if those candles can hold on the monthly. I always look at the monthlies to kind of look at what big money is looking at. Sure. They look at further time frames, so that's why I'm looking at the monthly support here.
And you know what's good about this, Mitch, is that we can actually come back in and check on this chart. If you do me a favor, though, and zoom way out. Zoom way out. Give me like 10 years on that monthly chart, because I want to, all right, I mean, just for some perspective here, look at where we're at. And look at the move that the SPY has made. So when we start talking about corrections and coming back in, it's important to understand the context that we're in. Look how elevated we are currently, all the way on the right side of that chart. I mean, it's almost going vertical. So again, if we correct here, this is not necessarily a bad thing. And if you're prepared for it, you're going to be able to probably turn that into some green on the screen. So I love this chart, Mitch. I think your levels are spot on. I think we should continue to check these levels as the week pans out. We got a big one, man, with earnings in the Fed this week. So might as well keep the context in line there.
Yeah, to me, I think the trend really started around this time, which was August 2020. I think that's when we really started to rip up. Like, I think this was all like kind of the Fed just pushing us back. And then this is when we actually started the trend. And so if I measured that Fibonacci up to the top there, and you could see right underneath it here is the 23.6 line. So to me, 416, as long as that's holding, we're still kind of okay in this pullback. We'll see if that can hold and continue to kind of be here. Now, stocks that are doing well and stocks that bounced yesterday, I mean, you're going to see a lot of charts like this HubSpot, where if you take a look at the daily, what do you see? You see a lot of weakness, and then you see a big candle get put in. The big question today is, do we get an inside day on those big candles, or do we get a test of the lows? A test above, of course, would make us all bullish, and then we start looking at this for 2-day moves. But we could get that inside day today where it just kind of goes, retraces a little bit of this and kind of calms the action down. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead. Let's bring in my man, the Zunaid.
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on that bender I see?
Yeah, dude, my computer, I guess it's not a good idea to leave your PC on for 5 days that you're gone. So I moved my monitors and stuff, the extra.
Why? What happened?
I think I just left it on and like my monitor is not on. So I'm just restarting. It's doing some repair thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, you might have just crashed from a system update. I mean, I've left my computer on for 5 days with mine in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. See, mine wasn't making me money. It was costing me money. Can I just hold on? My turn. You ready? Can you share my charts?
By all means, let's do it, dude. Take the lead.
Ryan, where was that bounce yesterday, baby? 420. 420, baby.
Key level 420.69.
Dude, I saw that bounce and I was like, there's no way. It was literally 420.76, man. I missed it by 76, but I'm glad we got that rally. That was insane. I got so I went long at 420, but then I got shaken out after it crossed VWAP right here. And then that's when I got stopped out. And then I went to like go shower and get ready for my flight. I come back and I see this and I'm like, wow, thank you, market. It's really nice of you. But by the way, I'm looking at 430 for a bounce on SPY. If it goes below that, then I don't know where it's going to go. But on Microsoft, I see 390 or 290. What's up?
I was just going to ask you, so where do you think we're going today? Because one of the things that I was saying yesterday is that while that bounce was great, made everyone feel happy, almost feels like a bull trap, right? Suck in all those longs after bouncing off the key level of 420.69, nice, and then maybe go back and retest some of those lows. So I'm in the camp that these lows, probably not it. We'll at minimum retest them. Maybe we won't break down further, but at minimum we're going to retest them.
Let's go back to the SPY here. And keep in mind, I am more of a trader intraday to see what's happening, right? Things like that. But I would not be surprised if we tried to test 420. At least we know if we go ahead and look at, we know that this 420 should hold. And we can see that pre-market lows are around 431. So I wouldn't be surprised if 430 ended up being a little bit of a level as well. I don't think it'll be as strong as we might have hoped. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we go, but we know that this right here, the 440 is what we can't break, it looks like. Yeah. Tried a couple of times last time, couldn't do it. You can see here it was support for a little bit right here as well, and then it finally cracked below. Should be interesting, no question about it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, we're going to play the hand we're dealt. I guess it doesn't really matter which direction it goes. I guess what matters more is how we react to it, right? Yeah. So I'm just trying to set up for one of those. Now, I know that you had brought up Microsoft there before you got on. I had mentioned we got a big print coming from Microsoft after the bell today.
Oh, okay.
So a couple of things. Number one, A, are you playing that print? B, are you looking to play a specific direction into that print? And no matter if you're playing it or not, what do you think about Microsoft and its earnings?
Let's talk about Microsoft. I don't know if you can pull up your Benzinga Pro options, but while I'm talking, you might see some options activity that came in on Microsoft yesterday. I believe they were buying I played it, so it's in my history somewhere, but I think they were buying the 295s that expire this week, I believe it was. And those ended up going in the money. I can't remember exactly where that came in here, but I know I ended up playing it. So to answer your question, am I going to play earnings? No, not through a straight call. Maybe if I'm still in Vegas mode, I'll do like a debit spread. So buy a shorter call, buy a shorter call and then sell one further out. Maybe I'll do that one, do a call spread. But at the moment, no, not at all. Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if what Mitch said is correct, right? It's kind of like, hey, we might have an inside day and then flush up and or down, because I think the FOMC, he's speaking tomorrow, or is today the meetings and then tomorrow he's speaking?
It's tomorrow.
Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised.
We're going to get the headlines. Tomorrow is where the items are in the calendar.
Okay. Yeah, so wouldn't be surprised if we kind of are waiting to see what happens in that regard. But again, like you said, just going to see what happens intraday. I know where my VWAP is. I know where my levels are, and that's what I'm going to try to follow and see how it goes.
And what were the calls yesterday? The strike?
I believe there were two. Not here. Let me check my E-Trade. I know I played it.
Because I see on the 290s, I see some on the 290s those were expensive too.
I paid about $6.40 were my fill. Give me a sec here. Let me look. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was 295s. I paid $6.45 for those. Okay. And they went in the money. But yeah. Anyway, I think there were like 500,000 plus that came in on that. Expired this week. 295 calls. But anyway, no idea if they've exited or not. I don't know, but
that's my thing. So I see Jeff in the chat saying Microsoft probably selling my calls today. I think I don't have a position, right? So I'm just kind of going off the sentiment that I see here. Jeff, I think if that were me, I'd be doing the same thing. We might actually get a run up into the print. We'll see if the market can find its footing here out of the open or anything like that. Yeah. But I don't think that I would play it for the actual print itself. Just too much uncertainty there, especially if you have some profit on the screen. Yeah. If you played the 300-310 spread, Jeff. So not bad there.
Yeah, you have Connor saying leave a runner. So it's up to you, right? One, depends on how many contracts you have.
Yeah,
two,
that's a good point.
How you've been, scaling out, what your risk tolerance is, things like that. Leaving a runner is perfectly fine, but I also find it a little bit more, I don't want to say smarter, because hindsight will always tell you if you were or not. But in terms of having odds in your favor, selling calls much higher than where you are, right? So if you're already in the money, if you're already up, like let's say 100%, sell a call that's a little bit up. And try to get some money there in case if, shit hits the fan, you're at least a bit covered and you don't feel like a total idiot.
Here, I see James, who's one of our regulars here, sent me a great little chart. I know James has got something else that he's doing right now, but I wanted to shout this chart out here. So let me throw my screen up here real quick. This is, you guys might know James. He comes in here. He trades with us all of the time. This is what he's looking at. This is an IWM chart. We've looked at the IWM chart plenty here. This is going to affect a lot of different small caps that we're going to trade here. He says, zoomed out pre-COVID, the old resistance is holding as support. That's going to be this red dotted line that you see here. This actually looks like a trend line that Mitch would draw. I wonder if James kind of got this from Mitch. Weakness in the market could incentivize not hiking rates, but we'll see Wednesday. this resistance support flip is holding well thus far. And I would agree with that. I think James is actually spot on here. This definitely looks like the spot that's holding so far. We'll see if that breaks down. And he goes on to say weakness in the market could incentivize not hiking rates. I think that maybe we won't have as many hikes as some people were saying. There was someone thinking that we were going to get 7 or something this year.
Was it Jamie Dimon? I don't know if it was
maybe
him.
Maybe it was. I can't remember who it was, and I don't want to put words in someone else's mouth without being able to cite it properly. But
we can't have Jamie be mad at us.
The comment on itself was just complete bananas. It's just complete bananas. I don't think that that's the case. 2, 3, maybe 4 rate hikes. We'll see what happens. Wednesday's going to be a big day. Wednesday's going to be a big day. I really like this chart, though. Shout out to James for this.
Yeah, no question about it. Should be interesting for sure. Let me go ahead and see. Is there anything else that you're playing? I know I joined late for this because
no. I'm still in ultra cautious mode. Zunaid, the one thing I know that you were looking at that. You were looking at some of the moves that I play recently. The one I'm going to be watching today in terms of the penny stocks, the small ones here, APM. This has actually run before on us. It's popping again this morning. I actually don't see any news here. This might just be kind of a chat room pump. So I just kind of outlined some of those key levels here. I'm going to watch how it behaves around those levels. Not in a rush to buy this either. Again, cautious mode is what I'm
quick.
What I'm sticking with.
Quick 3 seconds, just looking at the chart. $2 looks to be really interesting here. Right? You got resistance right here. 1, 2, 3, and this is of course after hours yesterday. So if you're going to try to play this risk reward to me, yeah, you could maybe try it here at 213. But $2, the closer to $2, the better risk reward you have, in my opinion. Just strictly looking at this, and goddamn, it went all the way to 4. Okay, all right, do you? All right. Yeah, it was Jamie that said 7. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yep. And Goldman Sachs, just to let you know, this weekend they put out the 4 hikes and also talked about potentially the Fed bringing in the conversation of assets actually being sold off of the balance sheet. So that's what I would pay attention to the most. I don't think you're going to get change in talk about the interest rate and also about the taper. The one that could come that spooked the market before was the selling off of the assets. If you remember, that's what spooked the market to begin with. Guys, look for comments on that. Don't be distracted by the other things. Look for that because that is so important. Because if they're going to be selling off, that is completely different than not hitting the buy button. We as traders know this because just compare it, right? Like if it was you trading, right? What is the difference of you selling your position or actually selling or just not buying? There's completely 2 different things there. And so pay attention to that. I think that's massive difference if there's an actual selling of these assets versus just a tapering. That means that they're seeing inflation really high into this year. And so they're really trying to taper it by actually selling some of these assets off. Of course, this is $7 trillion. So it's going to take a while. Don't expect it to be sold off all at once.
And just dump it.
This is what you got to be concerned about, right? I think this is the concerning factor because I always talked about how I think the Fed created a false bottom in the market. That's okay because that's what their job is for. But now we got to be careful because that false bottom is literally being taken out. It's just right underneath your feet. You had a floor and now that floor is gone. That's what you got to pay attention to. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of the stocks to look at from the gate here. I'm going to be watching Lucid. I talked about this one on Money Mitch, how it just keeps respecting this 36 line. That's so important for us. Let's pay attention. Let's see if we can get it back above 40 today. I would go long on Lucid back above 40s today. Below 35s, you could look for a short. This thing just keeps wicking down there. But I always talk about how when a level just keeps getting rejected to break down and hold, a lot of times you get the opposite action to either the resistance or support. In this case, it would be to the resistance up there by around 45, where you also got the daily moving average. That's where I would be watching. That's where the bulls will come in and really take this thing off through the 45s and 50s. I'm watching Lucid both ways. Can't look at it one way.
Nice. Mitch, I got to say, I love the hue of the light. You've got the perfect hue of your light in the background there. You really knocked it out of the park today.
Hey, got to do it. Got to get it right, guys. I'll tell you one thing though.
Good luck,
I will be bringing in some music today. So you guys let me know how that's going. Let me know how loud it is. Like I can just, just bring it on in for us.
Cannot wait for the arguments over the music. This is going
Oh
to be
yeah, it's gonna be. Before we continue though, I do want to mention, guys, like always, guys, we are sponsored by Vantage Point AI. If you guys want to check out some artificial intelligence, definitely want you guys to check it out. It's in the description below. We've talked about it. We've shown some videos. If you guys want to check it out, go ahead. So let's go. Let's get this bell rolling here and see what we see going out the gates here. I'm going to definitely be paying attention to see what happens. Do we come down to the 430s or do we push back up? Cat is one of the ones I'm watching today to see what happens with Cat. Do we get a bounce upward or do we get a downward move through 208? That's going to be one that's definitely on my radar, guys.
Just to try to play a quick bounce, I've got an order out at 290.40 on Microsoft. Again, it's currently trading at 293, so it's $3 away. I will not be chasing it for now. You're not going to get me, but I will try to scalp it like I always do. You guys have seen me use this strategy plenty of times. As soon as I get filled, I already have like a bracket order out there to try to get filled out at like 290.89 and kind of scale out like that. So if I do get it, I'll let you guys know. But for now, Microsoft is well above my buy order.
All right, bringing in a little bit of music here, guys. You guys let me know if it gets a little too loud on your guys' side. I can control the volume now on all the kind of options here. Even when we get to, like, let's say some buttons here. I got stonks.
You got your StreamYard?
Oh, I got the Go LXR Mini here, guys. If you guys don't know what that is, it's gonna help me be able to control the sounds here. And we can have some fun and trade, guys.
Berlin, good luck, my man. Hands at 10 and 2. Be safe on the road.
Let's do this, guys. Born out there, John, Chris, wish you guys luck. Red Rum, Watermelon Slice, Quantum, Kyle, BNZ. You guys have a great day. Let's go ahead. Let's get right after it.
All right, you've got Facebook hanging out around $300. Again, no trade for me yet. I'm not doing anything. Just trying to get in the swing of things because I'm still a little, a little woozy. But looking at Facebook, if you like the short, you already know what your high is, which is 301.50. So under 300 is not a bad short. Especially, by the way, if anyone hung on to those Facebook puts that we bought yesterday, you were in some money.
So nice push out of the gate here. Good call, Jeff.
Yep, BBIG over three.
Yeah, 310 is going to be key here. 1, 2, and 3 on BBIG.
I might do a little bit of a really quick trade on that. It would be a scalp type of trade. Because I'm expecting some momentum to the upside, but expecting what? Similar action that we got yesterday with the fake outs to the long side. All right, BBIG has 1.6 million there. Not bad. Really starting to get up there in the relative volume. The pullback now would be underneath 3 to go long off of 290s here. VWAP is sitting right above 3. I'm looking for a little pullback right behind it, trapping some people here, and then watching it push up.
Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like APM kind of came into, what do I have as a low print here? Low print 217. So it tried to hit that support at 215, bouncing here, got at least 15 cents off that bounce. If this actually continues here, I mean, I think if we take out 240, we might actually pop to the upside here. So APM still possible for this to be a trade. BBIG on the scanner now, BBIG.
It's moving for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You're checking at 316s here. Yeah. And we do have that.
Post-market high, aftermarket high, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Smile Direct Club moving here.
Oh, good Lord.
I knew you'd love that, Mitch.
There's one thing, Ryan, you'll probably see is that I don't hide from my feelings.
No, then that's good. We wouldn't want that any other way, Mitch.
I got to call it how I see it, man. Either way, if I see it good or bad, got to call it. All right, taking a look here. Gonna look at see what's going on with Starbucks, see if that can get a push on up. If Starbucks gets a push on up, I'll be looking a little bit into the bros. But really what I'm looking out the gates is how the SPY is reacting. We're getting what? Very close to nothing right out the gates here, guys. This hasn't moved pretty much anywhere right now. So to me, I'm hands off right now. just trying to look at the market. And what is the market? From the open, every single sector is down, guys. This is very important to notice. Why? Because if we're going to get that pop, we're going to start seeing a lot of this on the right-hand side. My open to change, open percent change since open daily is going to go into the green. This is why I try not to pay attention just to percentage change. I'm looking for something that went from red or maybe extremely red to all of a sudden it's green on the day. Like technology is down 0.73 right now. If that goes green, I would definitely look for technology. If, let's say, this real estate can get into the green, or maybe these defensives can get into the green, we could watch that. BBIG definitely pushing up there now towards 325. I did see a seller show up there, 100 on the offer side. Look for that 100,000 shares to flow through, then continue watching the continuation move. VWAP is now at 310. I would look for pullbacks there, but that's definitely moving out there. BBIG.
Yeah, nice to see. It looks like Jeff D's taking a YOLO bet on BBIG. You know, it's nice to see Bitcoin not plummeting this morning. That was the one. It is down a little, still down 350 points right now, but not a huge sell-off and actually moving to the highs on volume here on Bitcoin. So good to see that.
All right, Lucid, what does it do? It comes back down to towards the 3650. That's the support down. Now we're going to look to see if it gets the extension above towards 3782s.
Tesla rounding off the pre-market lows here. Looks like that's trying to push up. Unsure if this is going to continue, but we're through that 921.71 area that we had marked off prior. So let me actually go back and see the number of levels that this hit.
930 is the previous close, so keep an eye on that.
Yep. Yeah, 921 was a high in the pre-market on one of the days it was selling off. It actually took that out and closed, like you were saying, at 930 in the previous session. So we'll see if Tesla can get it going here.
All right, I'm going to take a bit of a riskier trade. I just took a Facebook short just in case this pop is not going to be sustainable. I took a Facebook short, bought the 300 puts, paid about $6.90. My stop is going to be above 302.50. So if it hits 303, let's say 303.1, I will be out. So right here, risking about, okay, all right, cool. You want to do that?
Let's get it going. First trade of the day.
Yeah, this is something a little different that I'm trying to kind of wait patiently, see if this holds. Because if it doesn't, I don't know, it's a $3 move. Even if it comes back a little bit, I'd be okay with it. But right now,
H. Roy saying head fakes, market's going lower. I'll be honest, that's the way that I feel here. So as far as your Facebook short here, I actually like this, especially if it gets a little toppy there. Good night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially because the risk reward is just great to me. I mean, look at this, right? Already kind of came down. Expected if this 10-minute closes below VWAP, I would be a little bit happy. And if you shorted commons, then I mean, this is a decent area to go ahead and take a little bit of scalp out because that's like what, a 75, 80 cent move. And if you're trading anything, make sure you have limit orders out so that way you can go ahead and get your profits locked in and scaled out as well.
All right, taking a look at the SPY here to see if we're going to get
off the lows.
434 here. Watching the 15-minute candle to watch how this 15-minute candle closes so that I can determine, hey, all right, do I want to trade the upside or the downside? Lucid is looking really trappy right now. I just want to point this out. So what you're getting is right that 1 up, 2 up, 3 up should hold support here and then come back up through 3750s. But if it breaks 3675, that's where I'll start seeing the crackdown on the downside. We'll see what happens here on Lucid. It's looking good, but needs to get right now, hold the VWAP, maybe hold support down here to 3680s, then get right back above 3725s.
Tapes asking, how do I trade with $9? Tapes, put that in something
How do
like
you
piggy bank or jar and wait till you have a lot more.
Well, I mean, you what you could do is you can call a buddy to try to teach you some things for $9. Get some learning in. That's what you got to do. It's not always about the money you're making, but the lessons you're learning.
It's about the process, which is what we talk about all of the time.
All right, guys. So SPY there doing what? Now starting to look like a Harmony on that 15. BBIG back to VWAP. I would actually look for a slight move down below VWAP at 310 for an entry, but to each his own. If you want to attack the VWAP bounce there at 316s, I do see the VWAP right there for BBIG.
Yeah, paper trade while you save. That's a really, really good piece of advice. That's absolutely something I did at the begining of this.
All right, we're about 20 cents getting away, 20 cents from getting stopped out. We were in the money. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop out of my Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and close that. I bought it at 690. I'm out at 630. You see it wicked up. That was my risk management. So lost 60 cents on that.
Snap at the highs today, which this of course had a humongous bounce yesterday, but looks like it's pushing off at the highs tier today as well.
Yeah, you know, one thing I talk about often is I did paper when I first started. So, I mean, of course, this is kind of like hindsight 2020. But after doing a lot of research, doing a lot of studying, learning about trading, what I would say a lot of the times it's good to get a small, tiny smidgen of money into live money, even if it's one share trading. I think this is so awesome because once you start doing that one share trading, even if you just focus on the percentages and just look at the percentages, don't focus so much about the money gain or loss, you're going to be able to start trading and actually say to the guy to the right of you, hey, I took this trade and got this percentage return. I don't need to talk about sizing because sizing isn't what's going to make you. At first, it's about the process and how you can get that percentage return.
Yeah, you know what, Mitch? I'm actually going to take that a step further because size is actually, not only is it not important, it can actually take you away from your goals and take you away from what you're doing. You shouldn't necessarily think about size. Size is going to change as your risk parameters change, and a lot of that is going to be tied to your confidence. So if you're, looking at other people take big positions and you're seeing how much they make, understand that there's a whole bunch of work that went into that you don't necessarily have yet. I highly advise that you focus on percentages early on, especially as opposed to actual dollar amounts, especially if you're on FinTwit, because you'll see people here with really deep pockets buying tens of thousands of shares and making $5,000 in 3 seconds. And if you expect the same type of performance, you're going to get hurt quite a bit.
All right, looking for a potential short here on Lucid. The SPY playing a little bit of games here, but we're getting towards that 9:45 time. I want to see if this candle closes into that harmony. So I'm going to show here. We were talking about in the chat. We wanted to talk about what that would mean, a harmony here. JD is asking about it. Okay, so look at the SPY, right? Look at the 15-minute. If you see here, so if the body closes really small and we have a wick to the bottom and the top, that's a doji. What does doji represent? Potential reversal of trend. What is the trend in pre-market? It's an uptrend. All right. So if that breaks through the low here around, let's say, the 431s, opens the next candle and breaks through 431s, I would look for downside action. But what we want to see is that next candle open and actually not pass the close there, like 433.10s, and just quickly come down towards the 431s. All right, guys, got a little bit of Lucid there at 36.83s. Looking to add more up at 37. I have an order out there, but I'm taking a little bit here just to get a starter. So short Lucid there, guys.
Someone's bringing up Live Nation.
Over to the lows along with the market. So be careful here. This is what we highlighted at the beginning.
You're talking about Apple, so I'll bring that up here.
Yeah, and then Lucid on one of them if you can.
I got you. All right, you've got Lucid here on the right. Someone mentioned Live Nation. I don't necessarily have a great read. 106 is being held as support at the moment, so if you want, you can risk about $1 there. Looks like 108.50-ish. You should start taking. Actually, 108. You should start scaling out. I necessarily don't have a good read on Live Nation. You got Lucid right there. You've got Apple to your left. Let me put up Facebook. See how that's treating me.
All right, guys, 1 minute on that 15-minute candle for the SPY, right? And so I'm going to actually put it up here really quickly so we could see that 15-minute candle come into play and see what happens, right? So we got about 40 seconds on this candle, on this 15-minute candle. We'll see what happens. Lucid is already looking good down towards the 70s. As we break through 36.50s as well, take some profit and look for the rest to continue moving down.
We got 99 Nation videos with a quality Admiral Akbar impression. It's a trap. It does feel like
it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap, I tell you.
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that quote. Everyone that's seen Star Wars knows Admiral Akbar, and it's a trap. So it feels like
I say it is.
Jeff D's out here measuring our delay. Thanks, bro. Much apprecited. Not
I
sure
think
what-
so. I've done that as well because obviously, we
It
understand
changes
that.
up. It's StreamYard. We don't have the capabilities of going low latency here. There you guys have it. So the next candle, right? What did we want to see? Does it open below that and take out the 431? We're looking to take that out right now. If we take out 431, remember the level that I looked for bearish is 428. That's where I would look for maybe some support to play in. But now we're getting it down there. Lucid getting down towards the 50s. If we break 50 here, I'm going to take half off. And then we'll look for the rest of it to continue moving down. There you guys have it. 40s showing up there. Putting out an order at 46 here. Boom. Got it filled there. Half of it out there on Lucid. Let's go. Let's go.
Facebook to the lows. Looks like a head fake, Zunaid.
Yeah. Wait, you're seeing lows?
Facebook.
Am
On
I
the 1 minute chart, it's making a move towards the lows. It's not at the lows, but it's making
Oh, okay. I was like, am I just tripping out here? Sorry. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to take this trade again. I'm going to wait. Someone else mentioned in the chat, so I appreciate you bringing it back up.
Yep.
I'm going to wait to see if this 10-minute candle closes below this yellow line, aka the VWAP, and looks like my Microsoft just got filled. Okay, I'm sorry. Hang on one sec. Let me focus on that.
All right,
No,
guys.
that's really good stuff, my man. I really appreciate you saying that. I know Mitch, Zunaid, and I talk about this while we're on camera and while we're off camera. Would love being able to help the group. That's why we're here in the first place. So the fact that you're seeing that and your portfolio is seeing that, it's exactly what we want to hear. That's how you start off a Tuesday, my friend.
Yeah, no question.
All right, guys. The level to really watch now is
Market rolling.
Lucid. If we take out 35.76. 35.76 would be a real knockdown on Lucid. I'm going to give it a chance here. If not, we'll take some profit and look to get it out here. But it really is looking weak, and the SPY is down to 430.82s. So it broke that 431 level that I talked about. Let's see if it holds that 431 and continues down towards the 428.
Roy, I'm on the exact same page of the book that you are. We are reading the same chapter. Feels like the same line. Nice call, my man. We did get that head fake to the upside. Let's see where our downside takes us.
Guys, it's a pattern that I've been calling out each day for the last 3 days. It's kind of normal in these.
Well, right, but there's only so many times I can say, look, Mitch was right again.
No,
So
but more along, what we're trying to point out here is look at the SPY hourly. Stop paying attention so much to the 1 minute. The 1 minute is what's driving this FOMO action, guys. I'll let you guys know that.
I'm the Microsoft. I'm gonna go to get out here at even, just because I'm already looking at a Facebook short. So now what I want with Facebook is for it to pop up a little bit. It's at 299, which, I mean, it is what it is. It went ahead and shook me out. But just like yesterday, if you stayed in the trade, let's see what those contracts are now at. They're at 870. We bought those at 690. I sold at 630 at a loss. Now they're going at 880 on the bid. They're hitting the lows. My idea was right, but I did get wicked by 29 cents. So that's on me, I guess.
Getting wicked, very much akin to getting wrecked, would you say?
Oh, no. I have no problem getting wicked. Getting wrecked is, dropping the soap like.
Jeez. I wasn't trying to go there, but cheers.
Oh, man. All right. Now, Facebook is, I don't know what Facebook, but you look at Microsoft, it's under 290 as well. This is what I wanted to get out. That's something else I've realized. On the 10-minute, I've realized not to chase it because they're always going to be wicks on the 10. So you can see here on Microsoft, you saw a wick. Look at Lucid. What a wick this was. So I've learned to kind of be patient, which is why I don't want to go short just here. I want Facebook to actually come back up to maybe say 300 or so, or 350 cents, something, so I could try one more time. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's up.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on out there, guys. I'm going to call out some sectors, how that's going. Did we get anything into the green? Utilities, only the one into the green. Everything else, 0.4 or down. So really, at least from my view of the sectors, things are still trading down right now. So I'm looking at utilities maybe for upside. But other than that, technology down 1.43%. This is where I think that too many people still trying to call that bottom instead of waiting for us to confirm a bottom, which is what I'm trying to look for, which is what would that mean? A confirmation above 450.
Now, when you say 450, sorry, you're talking about the
SPY.
The SPY. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want
whenever
the daily to be closed above 450. Is that what a confirmation is for you? Okay.
Yep.
All
Do you guys have the ridiculous candle on SPY that goes all the way to 364?
Yeah, what that is that's an off exchange order
Yeah.
that got filled there. You can't pay attention to those too much.
No, you gotta ignore them.
Yeah, you got to ignore them. One of the things is with the SPY, you always see these kind of weird fills.
And
That's
sometimes
often-
you'll see more than one right after another as well.
All right. And if you're still in those Facebook trade, right? I hope you've started to scale out just a little bit, because I wouldn't be surprised if this tries to test 300 and 301. And that's where I would look to get back into the Facebook short, just because of the risk reward situation. Again, I could get wicked once again and I could lose another $1, but I'm okay with that because risk reward is what I'm focusing on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it, guys. Finding a little bit of bounce here in Lucid, seeing a little bit of a bounce in the SPY. I want to see the SPY above 431 because I'm short, but we'll see what happens here. See if it comes down towards the 428, which is what I want to see the SPY take out on the downside. I can still trade on the short. What's up, Melanie Hudson? What's going on out there? Could be a dead cat. That's dead cat bouncing, man. Come on. You want to bounce, Hendricks? Want to bounce? He's sleeping. He's sleeping. I think the lungs are sleeping, man.
Excuse me.
Melanie calling out Tesla in the chat there. Tesla. I haven't taken a look at Tesla today, but I'll take a look now.
Is that our Melanie? I'm gonna
Tesla down towards.
Oh, well, Ryan. Would you look at that? Previous close.
All right, SPY coming down there, guys. 429s now. Let's see if it takes out the 428.
That previous close was on the dot as resistance. Let's see what Facebook is doing.
So Jeff is shouting out the Case Shiller Home Price Index came out at 9 a.m. Check the home builders. All of the home builders pounding the lows. DR Horton, KB Homes, Lennar, all pounding the lows after that report.
Yeah, the housing one's a crazy one. I've been battling with some guy named Bill in the pre-market prep chat for like about a year. I'm looking at housing actually coming down. You know, he's pointing out that, you know, we were kind of pointing towards the upside at the beginning of the year. We'll see what happens in housing, really.
Yeah, are you talking about prices?
I'm talking about overall and just like the housing market. I think the housing market got to a point where too many people bought at the top.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think housing prices need to come in 20% or so.
Yeah. And so with that being said, what happens when you buy a house at $500,000 and then in a year it's only worth $400,000?
I mean, nothing happens unless you're trying to sell it, right? If you're in the flipping business, then you're screwed.
Underwater. And underwater
you're down $100,000, but your mortgage and stuff, you should be perfectly fine. Now, if you tried to over leverage yourself because you're trying to flip it and the market's hot, I'm gonna sell it for $6,000. You ain't looking pretty then.
I don't know about you, but I never want to be in an asset that's literally overvalued by $100,000. Never.
I mean, no one does, but I'm saying in terms of like what happens, it's not like your mortgage.
It's putting yourself in the position, though. If you bought last year, you put yourself in that position. It's up to you. You determine if you buy or not, right? Just like if you buy the stock or not and hold it. It's up to you guys. I personally had the money to buy a home and just passed on the offer because I just felt the homes were way too expensive for what they were going for.
Oh, I mean, no, they definitely are. There's no question.
Seller's market to me.
They definitely are. Microsoft now under 290, now looking at 288. Let's see what Facebook's doing. I did not get back in with Facebook because the risk reward wasn't worth it for me. As you can see, it did not come up anywhere near 300 or 301. But Facebook, let's see what those contracts are going for.
I absolutely love when this happens. We're getting some inside information from someone who is bringing their professional experience here to the group. Robert, I can't thank you enough for doing this. I try to do this on the happy hour on a daily basis. Robert says, I've been screaming home builders are not good. He says boulders, but I know he means builders. Come on. I'm one, and projects here take twice as long to complete. You're not the only person reporting something like that. The prices today are showing you that you are correct.
All right, guys, above 36.78, we're going to actually get out of Lucid, look for re-entry. Below 36.40, we're going to hold and look for a breakdown of 36. The SPY's already down to 428.75s, so it's getting towards that bear crack. Just be careful. We cracked 428. You could see some hard downside action, and all that bounce you saw yesterday could go away.
Let's see what. No trades for me still, but those contracts on Facebook are not going for about $9.
All right, guys, got to be careful here. If I see something filling here on the 80s, I'm going to go ahead and get on out. There's 82s.
On your Lucid short?
Yep, taking it out, looking for a re-entry here above VWAP at 37s. I think it's going to do a little bit of a fake out here. I don't want to go ahead and kind of hold through this because the squeeze could be very fast. So I don't mind re-entering into the trade because I've already taken some profit. It wasn't a losing trade. So I don't mind getting out and getting back into this trade. That's the fun part of no commission trading.
Cole, we did talk about this. We told you that this is a outlier candle and that you should ignore it. And in fact, depending on your charting platform, you may be able to command your charting platform to ignore this bar. Thinkorswim has that option. We did address it. Nothing to worry about, my friend.
Yeah, there's one thing you need to learn is that you need to be able to watch the tape. If you watch the tape, you'll see how that skips a price, right? The trading of the price action, let's say like the SPY right now is at 428.60s, but if all of a sudden you saw something on the tape show up at 420, that doesn't necessarily mean that it traded down there. It can be an off-exchange maker that's filling an old order down there. So you get confused and you see a wick, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it traded down there.
Yeah, because keep in mind, dark pools need to be reported on the tape. They don't get reported immediately. So just keep that in mind.
Yep, that can be like a 24-hour. What's the time frame that those can be reported?
I thought it was 24.
Is it 36? I can't remember the exact stat. I'm not the dark pool master. By the way, if you want to follow dark pool trades, you can check out Airplane Jane and Stephanie Kammerman on Twitter. They're both excellent dark pool traders, friends of Benzinga as well.
Yeah, dark pulling is one of the things that you'll learn into the momentum game that gets you for sure. If you want to be really good at scalping, you should definitely have access to dark pools. So that means what? You got to pay up, man. Especially those traders that like to trade like BBIG. If you're not looking at the dark pool, you're just blind.
All right, so let me try and get...
There's the Lucid pop above 37s here, guys. That's what I'm looking for now. Now I want this candle to close and start making its way downwards. Give me a high here. SPY is starting to push back. Tesla did get a pop, guys. I just want to point that one out towards 920. I would look for the VWAP to hold there. Then it comes up really quickly through the 920s. You can look for maybe a scalp at the 930s. There's Tesla coming above 37. Now I'm going to look for a little push back above the VWAP, and I could get short off that last candle high, which is 37.08.
Just taking a look here, Thad is saying, ugly. Anytime the S&P 500 is taken out its 50-week moving average, it usually falls to the middle of the Bollinger Band. That's 4,000. You're charting the S&P cash. I brought up the SPY here on my chart. I wanted to kind of show this to you real quick. Here is the SPY on the weekly chart. The 50 moving average is going to be the blue squiggly line, this one right here. Actually, let me change this just to make this a little bit easier to see temporarily. Make it that light blue line here. So there's your 50. We broke beneath it. We are sitting right on the bottom deviation of that Bollinger Band. So we will see where this actually gains some footing and turns back around. Might not be done yet here today. Good shout, though. There's that. I'm left out the main part of the thesis on IWM. Well, James, I'm glad you came back here to give it to us. Bear case, short-term pipe dream rally, but possible swing setting up for at least the expected names.
All right, we got to get James on here. James, hit the like, man. Hit the like, guys. All right, guys, we're getting towards that 10 o'clock time, guys. You guys out there, do me the favor, smash that like button. Let's go ahead. Let's get it on up. Let's get these likes on up. We need to get towards 500 likes today, guys, for us to keep going past 11. I'll have a trader joining us on here around 10:30. So you guys, 10:30, 11, I have Devin that's going to come on. I'm sure he's looking at this Tesla move right now. He's that type of trader. So definitely out there, guys, smash that like. All right, guys, I couldn't get a fill there on Lucid, so I might have to jump in around here. Looking for a little push back above 3680s to get short here, but still haven't been able to get in here. Re-entry on Lucid, that's what I'm looking for.
I'm just checking out Twitter here. Sorry about that. Don't mean to be ignoring. Just trying to get a lay of the land, as they say.
What you seeing out there, man?
Not much. Not much. Just some talk about Tom Brady retiring, but that can't be.
He said he's mulling his. He's going to have conversations. He said that before the game, I thought, as well, actually. So not just after. Facebook now coming up around 300. All right, this is where I go ahead and try to take a crack at it one more time. Going to buy the 295s. My fill is 605. Went ahead and bought the 295. Come on, give it to me exactly.
Here, let me get your screen up. Sorry, I left my SPY chart on there.
Oh, you're good, brother. Yeah, got to 295 puts on Facebook. Got filled at 605, like I said. We'll see what happens. I could easily, once again, be wicked out. No problem. It happens. Risk reward is what I'm here for.
All right, guys, definitely smash the like on up. I'm seeing you guys in the chat trading. I love it. Keep it going, guys. Got to get James on here. All right, guys, just got short a little bit there of Lucid. Got a little bit short there. Don't want to see it back above 37.10 right now. That's the risk. SPY heading to the low. That looks good for us here, guys. Let's see if we can get this to really crack here. Looking for the volume to come in here with some big sizing. I see 2,000 shares rolling through right now. I want to see a nice 10,000 share flush down here.
Sure feels like it. DWAC relative strength, interestingly enough.
Okay, so the SPY kind of did this resistance around 429.25s. That's where the upside will get me out of Lucid right now. But if we crack to 428s, I'm still in here.
All right, now
Where's
those
the
Facebook.
crack? Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good, dude. Call out whatever you got. Facebook, now you're up about 10%. Again, depending on your account, please start scaling out because you're up about $70 on a single contract. So depending on your account size, please, please, please start scaling out.
Definitely, definitely. How you guys liking the music out there? Let me know if you guys are liking it. If you guys want to change it up, we can definitely change it up. Kick up the beats. You guys smash that like, support us as we keep on going here.
Real quickly. First of all, Jeff D is asking me if I'm wearing sweatpants. I work from home. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm wearing sweatpants. What kind of question is that? I did just want to give you some anecdotal stuff. I have two texts here from traders that I know. One of them I consider a mentor and as a professional at this. The other is just starting, but very, very passionate about it. The one that's just starting says, "Oh man, this is crazy. Where do we go next?" And then the professional says, "This is a fun tape." That just gives you an idea of when you have experience, what people are actually, looking for. And in a market like this, when we're having a sell-off like this, the correct way to behave is to take a deep breath, don't panic, be very deliberate and very tactical about what you're doing.
This is all I got to say, guys. I mean, just look at it, guys. 428. Watch how the stocks react here, guys.
Wait, what? I'm going to the SPY. Oh, you're saying as a support?
That's a big key level there. That was that monthly level that we pointed out in the pre-market. If we can't, this is where I could see institutional stepping up, like washing it out here and then stepping it up. Close above 428. That's what you want to see. Now to the downside, close below 428 here. That can really start washing things out.
How tall are you, Ryan?
Lucid, baby. Lucid washing down, guys. Let's see if we get this really nice flush there, guys. We're in here at 3682s.
Facebook, new lows.
Let's go.
You're up about 20% on those contracts. That's $100 per contract. Please scale out. Did you say 6'4"?
6'4".
God damn, don't you ever take a picture next to me.
Yeah, let's say Mitch is not 6'4" either, so don't worry about it.
How tall are you, Mitch?
I'm 5'9".
Oh, you and I can hang out. That's fine. I'm shorter than you, but still.
So you can't even hang out with me because of my
okay, you're right. Fine. Okay, my bad.
No, Zunaid.
I'm like the ladies, except opposite. You know what I mean?
He's the scapegoat. He's the tall scapegoat. You put him in the front.
Oh
We hide
man.
behind the giant.
Plus, Zunaid,
up?
I'm gonna need to be there to grab things off the top shelf. You know, where the kids can't get them.
Where the kids? Are you calling us kids now?
Hey
I
man,
need-
you're discriminating
I need
against my
Ryan
life.
for those
Get
moments.
wrecked.
Oh man. Oh man.
I need Ryan for those moments, man.
That's
See?
hilarious. That's hilarious. I love it. I love it. Man, I would love for Facebook to plummet.
Out there right now thinking like the heartbeat is on, guys. The heartbeat is on.
Why do people buy calls past expiration? I'm seeing a ton of, bro. I don't know where you're seeing that, Corey. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure where you're seeing that, Corey. I'm being very serious too. If you want to DM me on Twitter and show me, I'm happy to address it.
I like how he's like, yo, dude, I'm actually being real though. like, I'm not trying to just laugh here. 6'9", Justin, you freak, get out of here, dude.
Are they the 121 calls for 2023?
There you go. Maybe if that's available.
I don't know how you buy calls that have expired.
You don't. I don't know. Maybe some. I don't know, bro.
Bill
Anyway,
S. Bill S. Ryan can change the batteries in your smoke detector. Bill S. That is an amazing job. I cannot tell you how many times I have been the one summoned to replace the battery in the smoke detector. You are spot on.
The story of
hilarious.
Ryan's life, guys.
That's hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
Have the two of you been in the Benzinga office together?
No, actually, a funny story about that. So
Because all three of us are remote.
We were
right?
like a week and a half apart. And Mitch took a picture in the place that he stayed in and posted it on Twitter. And when I showed up at the place, I was like, wait a second, this room looks familiar. I found the exact spot where Mitch took that picture, and I took a picture and I was like, you were here.
You've got Benzinga having a room contract now.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I gotta say that's actually, it's actually a stock, right? From that stock. It's a SPAC, Ryan.
Sonder is a SPAC?
Saunders is a SPAC.
What is the ticker?
I gotta look it up again. I haven't checked it out in a while, But I mean, I was really blown away because the week that I was going to the Saunders is the week that it got picked up, and I was like, oh snap! I'm gonna go do a little research.
Global markets under the ticker SOND and SONDW. Oh, by the way, for all of you, let's actually test this right now. Let me see. Sonder Holdings is in fact a stock. Ticker SOND.
There it is.
Oscar
Sonder Holdings.
Yep, November Delta. And here's the other thing, guys. Let me make sure it works before I tell you to go do it. Yes, it does. So I don't know if you noticed, but if you click, and Mitch, this is for you too.
Ooh,
you notice there's a little bouncing bubble in the upper right corner of your platform. You'll notice that we will list all of the new changes. And as of yesterday, warrants now have pricing and charting availability. So this is a perfect segue into what we were just talking about. Sonder Holdings also has a warrant, which we can now check, get a price on, and chart. Little caveat here: if you notice that there's a warrant that we do not have in our library, please email the team. We'll go ahead and get that added. So really interesting stuff here. What a funny story. What a funny story. Let's check in on some of the other stocks that we're taking a look at here.
All right, guys, looking right here at Lucid here. It's starting to come back up. I don't mind a wick here above VWAP. I just don't want to see it close above VWAP. It's okay to get a test up here. This is called the VWAP fake out fade, where you get 3 tries to break above VWAP and then a flush down. But we'll see what happens there. Let's go ahead. I can put up my chart here. I'm looking at the VIX also. We talked about it in the chat. This has come up here, did kind of like the A move, pulled back, now pushed back. I would look for the resistance here to start holding here, which is around 26 area, and then test back on up there towards the 26. We don't want to even, I wouldn't even want it to get back towards VWAP here. I want it to keep trending on up, showing me that weak action. SPY is flirting right there at that 428. Why is it so important? It's a monthly support candle for us. We'll see what happens here. It's definitely flirting right here with the, if it holds and just breaks out the 429, you could probably start seeing some squeezes. But if we take out the lows here, just be careful, guys. I want to definitely put that out there.
And real quick, we called DWAC on the curl. DWAC did more than curl. It was curling. It took out that 67 level. Volume really started to pour in. Here we are at 71. This is one I'm staying away from, especially on a day like today. If you're trading this, good luck. Make sure that you take your profits. This is, definitely be very, very careful about this one. This did have a nice curl and follow through, however.
Can you do me a favor, Ryan? Let's use the pro here to check out Bally. Bally is a casino stock. It's one of my favorite ones. Long term. BALY.
BALY. Okay.
All right. So what's the news here?
All right, so looks like we have an active stake taken, and we also had Standard General, Bally's largest shareholder, submits a proposal to acquire the outstanding shares of Bally common stock not owned by the company at $38 a share. So it looks like we've got a takeover here.
Okay, that's actually really interesting. So who's the takeover mentioned with? Did they give a name?
Currently owned by the company. I would have to go through this.
Okay, no worries. I'll take a deeper look, guys. The reason why is I've actually had the chairman of Bally's on Money Mitch. So check that out, guys, if you guys haven't seen that before. So Bally's, why I like it, because they also own the Sinclair Broadcasting Group. What does this do? So if you guys remember, there was a change in Fox Sports where all these Fox Sports networks got bought out and they changed over to these Bally Sports Net. I think this was very important. Why did they want to do that? Because they wanted to get their brand out there and also have eventually ability to advertise to you straight to the sports, right? And so, one of the things that a lot of these kind of like DraftKings, Penn, and even MGM, what do? They sponsor a stadium to try to get that advertisement inside, right? So this is another way of going at it with the broadcasting, but we'll see what happens. Bally, it's definitely pulling back right now, but in pre-market, it went up there towards 36. I would look at a 15-minute or an hourly chart on this. And so a pullback towards around 33.78 is what I would be looking for right now. It's just holding way too high here. It looks like it's going to pull back.
And Mitch, just to kind of put a bow on that, you had asked who it was. I'm going through the report here. It says Standard General is pleased to submit this proposal under which we would acquire all of the outstanding shares of common stock in Bally's Corporation. We do not own for a price of $38 a share. So it's looking like they're to take all of the shares that they don't already own, pay $38 a share. If you want some more information, looks like Standard General is a New York-based investment firm that manages event-driven opportunity funds. So there you go, guys. In terms of this acquire it.
It's time to do.
Do you have an asset for us?
Let's go. It just added on Lucid, guys. I'm trying to knock this thing down. Let's see if we can get a knockdown here, guys. Just hit an ad right now on that breakdown. Saw rejections off the VWAP. Now above VWAP, we're going to have to get on out to make sure that the risk doesn't get too big. Whenever I add, I really start getting tighter on the wrist. Don't want to let an ad position really get into the hurt. So now we're looking for that flush down through 36.50s. If we can get it through 50s, we should see a move back down closer towards this low around 36.40s. We could take some profit and then would be in the driver's seat for a big win. Let's see what happens here. Lucid. I did a little bit of a fake out. Just want to make sure that we watch that too. Look how it went down below 428 right now. Put in a big wick back up to 428.50s. Still fighting that 428 zone. Yu-Gi-Oh! Who played Yu-Gi-Oh here when they were young?
Played Yu-Gi-Oh. What is it? Blue Eyes White Dragon?
The Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yep, played that.
You guys might as well be speaking Greek, which is a language I don't understand.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh was the game.
Not a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Okay, fair.
My age might have prohibited me from doing that.
That's fair. That's fair. We're like what, 7 years apart? I think something like that.
How old are you?
All right, Jared.
31.
Just going to be careful here with my Lucid short, guys. SPY starting to look like it wants to squeeze here, guys. So remember I talked about this would be the level that I would see maybe some institutions step up. We saw a wick here, fake out to the low, now reversal. This is when I start getting concerned about my Lucid. All right, out there on Lucid, just because we're not going to go ahead and put a risk there on there. Now we only lost, 10 cents, 14 cents on that versus trying to let the SPY break out here and then watch Lucid just push on up there 20 cents. Next thing you know, you're down 30, 40 cents, which is what the profit should have been. Don't let that profit to loss ratio get lost here in the sauce. Even if you're trying to make a trade, doesn't matter. I would rather it like fake me out here and me get out than put the risk on. And then next thing you know, the SPY does a big candle on the upwards, and then you look at your Lucid and you can't even hit the out button because no one's taking that side right now. So let's see what happens here.
37 is the new 21, right, Ryan? I'll be honest, I don't want to be 21 again. I'm happy with the experience. It's like a fine wine, right? It gets better with age. That's how I look at it.
If I could be 24, but with the knowledge and experience I have now, I wouldn't mind. But yeah, you know, I feel like that's everyone's case, though.
Hands off, says John Lewis. Hands off of Netflix, guys.
Yeah, I'm with John on that one.
I'm with him too.
I'm with John on that one for sure.
All right, guys, we're getting towards 10:15 here. I'm going to take a quick second to go ahead and play a little trailer for you guys. We'll be right on back, guys. We'll take a little bit of a drink. You guys do so yourself. And if you could do me the favor, smash the like as you guys enjoy this live trading commentary. 3 traders here for you. Smash the like. Let's keep on going.
Stock trading can be difficult to navigate and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Vantage Point simplifies it with the use of artificial intelligence. Imagine if you had the power of machine learning right on your desktop, helping you determine the smartest entry and exit points in your trades. With sophisticated AI technology, deep learning, and algorithmic programming, Vantage Point combines a suite of predictive technical indicators into user-friendly software, helping traders identify the best market opportunities. AI goes beyond human skill. It's faster with incredible accuracy. Click the link below to see a free demo. No emotion, no regret, just the right trades at the right time.
All right, guys, I'm looking for a long now if on Lucid. I would call that out, really. I think I like that trade now. I think that squeeze at the look where everyone was looking short, right?
Something with your mic.
Downside, and you could.
With your mic. There you go.
There it goes.
That's
sorry, I was cutting in and out.
Yep.
There he goes. It got back here. Well, I'm looking for maybe a Lucid long here. SPY starting to push a little bit here. What I'm really watching is this kind of technology from the open. So let's take a look here at the sector. I have a sector chart that we can take a look. See how you got this bottoming action here on the 5-minute? You're going to see this kind of bottoming action. That's a nice reversal. We don't want to let that break on the downside if we're trading technology to the upside here. But I do think you might start seeing some changes here happen in technology. Remember, we were down towards 176 change percentage from the open. I'm looking to see if this can get underneath 1 and then start showing that reversal. SPY is still down there. We want to see the SPY above VWAP 431. Qs probably have a good level that it just bounced off of too. Yep, same thing. You guys can start looking at that bottoming action there and see if that bottoming action holds. Look how you got candles right next to each other. The low here, 342.20s. The low here, 342.24. The low here, what? 342.35. The rule of 3, right? If it doesn't break that now, we could see the reversal towards the upside.
So one of the things that I just noticed, if you let me throw this up on the stream here, I'm going to keep watching this. What I have here is the SQQQ, which is the ultra short ETF, and I just noticed when I was looking at this that the price today stopped right where the VWAP was yesterday at close. Look at that. Stopped right there. I gotta say, I think this 47 to 47 area is quite important. I see here we're actually kind of trading back to today's VWAP. This is obviously on a 1-minute chart, but this spot here, real important. It looks like these are going to be the reversal points for the market. So we'll see if this can hold today. I'd actually like to see a VWAP breakdown of the SQQQ, but we'll see.
All right, watching the SPY right now. It's in definitely a zone where it could get moving here. Volume increasing into the move, which is what I want to see a lot of the times. I want to see volume coming down and then all of a sudden volume spiking back to the reversal here. We'll see what happens here around VWAP, around, let's say, this 431 area to see if we start pushing back through it
on Facebook, if you didn't scale out, you're now back. You're actually now you're down about 2%. So again, manage your risk, do what you got to do, but you should have scaled out when we told you guys 2-3 times. If you're trying to go short, there's two tickers that I'm personally taking a look at. Micron, MU, 80.50 right now. Looking at the $80 puts, you're looking at about 222 on the ask, and also Nvidia, since they're both near VWAP. So if you like the short idea, risk reward wise, these two are great. I'm actually going to go ahead and take both of them just because, again, risk reward for me is perfectly fine. I could get my face ripped, but
your beard protects against your face getting ripped, so you should be fine. One thing that I will say here is AMC looks like they're restructuring some of their debt. Looks like that popped the stock here. And it also looks like GME is trading up on sympathy. Ron, shout out to you for the call out on GME. This looks like it went from 98 to 104 in short order. The more I think about it, DWAC was curling and running as well. Some of these names here, some of the junkier names or the social media darlings, let's call them that.
Sure.
Those might be the ones that seem to be running today. Again, no trade in any of these. I'm going to pass on these today, but interesting to note the trading there.
All right, that Micron and now Nvidia's dropping a little bit. So start thinking about where you want to go ahead and get out. For me, 79.60 would be my first scale out area. I'll keep you guys posted, but again, please manage your own trades. I'm just giving out what I'm doing, but you may have more money than I do, so our scale outs might be different.
All right, guys, let's keep going. I did see a nice mention in the chat here from Michael Shear. You guys have helped me get out of this rut that I've been in over the past 3 weeks. Swing trader, that chop was wrecking me. Then, of course, the massive drops, but I'm staying alive with the day trades. Hey, that's how it is. One thing awesome. I'll tell you, as being, I think that this. I definitely do way better on swing trading, guys. That's what
me too.
That's what I'm known for.
Me too,
really, and that's what I do Money Mitch for. Really, it's swing trades, right? Looking at the close, looking into what can come into play. Look, Hendrick's waking up. The market might be waking up, guys. So let's go ahead. Let's get it going here. We'll see what happens, Michael. But like always, what we try to do is teach you from our process, and there's times where swing trading is going to do really well, and that's in trending markets. That's why I pay attention to moving averages. Moving averages tell us a lot of the times what is trending. It helps us show, hey, this is in a bullish trend. But right now, a lot of stocks are below that 200-day moving average that shows you bearish trend. That's when, yes, possibly swing trades have been working to the downside, not to the upside. And that's why you might be fighting it right now. But to me, what I'm looking for is for momentum to come back when all stocks start to trend to the upside. That's when I want to be trading to the upside as a swing trader.
Yeah, and Michael, one more thing to add to that. You deserve more credit than anyone else. So we appreciate the shout out. We'll take it. I'm glad that we're able to help you, but the reality is that you deserve the applause for that. The reality is the market is going to change. It's never going to stop. The market's never going to be the same every single day. And if you don't change with it, you're going to get chopped up. So the fact that you are predominantly a swing trader, you recognize the conditions were not conducive to you, you changed your strategy in order to stay afloat, that shows the sign that you are adapting to the market. That is a successful trait that is a common trait of all successful traders. Be proud of that, my man.
Jason at Benzinga.com. Just email Jason. Just let him know all the good that you like. Blow his email up. By the way, Facebook is the only short that I don't really like the way it's looking. Everything else is doing all right. Everything else is in the positive, barely. But Facebook's the only one that's giving me a little bit of anxiety.
All right, down there. Let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. You guys smash that like. Did you hear the Seinfeld theme there?
Did I hear the what?
I did.
I probably didn't hear it.
I heard a beep.
Well,
I didn't hear
that's
the Seinfeld.
Devin
I didn't hear anything Seinfeld related. My ears are normally too tuned for that.
That's our Devin in the back. So you guys smash that like, guys. We'll be getting Devin on in just a little bit here. Definitely smash the like, guys. We'll keep going. Let's see what happens here in the market, guys. We're starting to get towards that battle zone here. Tesla's an interesting one. It has the nice kind of trend line here. You guys can watch here. We'll see if we can get back above that 920 area. Definitely some wicks on the 1 minute, so just be careful there. I see a lot of wicks on the upside. So what I would do is I would start using multi-time frames. Watch for the multi-time frame breakout, right? So the multi-time frame breakout, as I'm pointing close to this 920.26 here. Look at the 15. You see the resistance right there. Look at the hourly. You see the resistance on the close. Maybe let's pull this back down a little bit here. So more closer towards this 918.77. Let's go ahead and let's take a look here. Does it line up with the 15? Okay, that's looking better. Does it line up with the 5? All right, that's looking better. Does it line up with the 1? Okay, now we're looking good here. Now I got that trend line drawn. I got some bottoming action here. Now we're looking for it to hold VWAP here and come out and just take out that 918.77 on the upside. Downside is 908.
Pope can move, baby. I recognize that one. There you go.
Pope.
All right, Nvidia coming down a little bit here.
Hey,
Man,
working
these
it, working it.
contracts, dude. Come on. Can these contracts move? You know, that's one thing that I don't like is like the IV sometimes can screw you on these. Oh, boy. Because I think I went short around like the 223 area, and now it's at 221. So it's almost a $2 move to the downside in my favor, but my contracts are up like 50 cents. It's like, come on. Damn it, Delta. Micron testing 80 as well. What's up, buddy?
Micron moving?
No. It's not. It's from the short that we took right below VWAP. It is, but like it's relatively
It's not a bad one. I don't mind it at all.
Basically, without even realizing, I am short the chips and Facebook, but I'm short Nvidia. I'm short Micron. I missed AMD. Let's see what AMD's doing. Oh, okay. All right. The one that I didn't go had a better move, but whatever.
Starting to get a little bit of a volume to come on up there. Let's see if we can get this continued volume to the upside, and then you start seeing some breakouts. I might take a trade on Tesla to the upside here. I talked about it. Yeah, it's set up perfectly there. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a pullback here and get – I mean, I can't get many shares here, but I'll try to at least get into it so that we could take the trade here.
All right, come on. Here we go. Seeing a little bit of a push to the upside in some stocks. I'm sure the SPY is making it happen as well. Are you laughing at me?
No, I'm laughing at a hilarious tweet that I just read. Quote, I used to live in a rented house. I taught my landlord about futures and options, and now we both live in a rented house. Got to keep some of that levity up, man.
Hey, that's how it is, guys. Got to enjoy it. Got to have a good time. That's what we're here for, guys. All right, guys, got into a little bit of Tesla there. Let's see if we can keep this going here. One thing that I did see is on the time and sales, you started seeing a bunch of 1,000 share orders going through. Look at that push now, and now we're there towards 922.50. That time and sales is what really got me moving here. The price action, you started seeing, hey, all that volume started rolling through, and 1,000 shares we know isn't cheap, right, on Tesla. We're talking what? 3 zeros on 900, so you're talking $900,000 there around. I mean, that's a lot of money getting pumped into it. So whenever I see a big stock and I see 1,000 shares flowing through, I'm paying attention to that.
It'd be cool if we knew what the average time in sales was.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm sure there's probably something there.
Yeah,
like pretty much.
Might be
like, let's just say within the first 2 seconds, you have someone buy 750 shares and someone else buy 250 shares. And so the average shares per transaction would be 500.
Yeah, what you want to look for is Webull has a little bit of that for you, not completely what you're calling out there, but some of it. I will give you that if you're looking for something. They have a little bit better volume profile. They're trying to read the upticks, downtick with the volume. And then kind of give you a little bit better average price. But like always, guys, this is all about getting the data. It's about getting the data. How much do you want to pay to get that data?
Facebook isn't looking pretty. Micron is now above VWAP, as is Nvidia. There's a minute left on this 10-minute candle. I'm going to hang on. If this rips 10 points on me, fine, whatever. but I'm going to hang on to see what happens in this final minute here. But it looks like I will be stopped out on both of these. I was kidding, NVIDIA. Relax. Calm down.
BBIG looks like it's trying to push up towards the 333 day high. You might pop and get a scalp opportunity there.
Oh.
DWAC pushing off of its VWAP.
Oh, boy.
Easy for me to say. So looks like we're still getting some of these other stocks to move around here.
Yeah, there goes Micron and NVIDIA. I was kidding when I said move up 10 points. Calm down.
Yeah, baby, do that, Tesla. Fourth Wave was talking about in pre-market prep. He was like, man, these guys on live trading, they're on fire.
We call what we see, man.
I'm sure Devin's over here focused on Tesla. Look at that face. I see that face in the back. I see that smile, Devin. I see you. We'll bring you on in a little bit, bud. You enjoy your Tesla trade. I'm probably sure you're probably riding the same boat as me. We'll see what happens there.
Tesla might be trying to break out on the 5 minute.
Exactly. Multi-time frame. It's not. It's all of them. Well, 1, 5, 15 an hour. Now the big thing for us is breaking through the hourly high. So let's go to the hourly chart, and you'll see there's big resistance there. If you actually go back, it even goes into yesterday's resistance, which is there at 933.50s. So look for around 933 to run into some resistance. We'll see if it break out through that level and can continue through the 930s.
Looks like stocks are coming out. Here's what I'm going to do on the 10 minute, because I'm going to hop off, especially because I've got to take care of some stuff since I just got home. If Micron goes, you see this 10 minute, is my chart up? Sorry, don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So you see NVIDIA, if this candle, if this goes green even a little bit, I'm going to be out, which might be by the time I finish talking. On all of these, if they go green, I'm going to be out. If they break this previous 10-minute candle, I will be out. So for now, I'm staying in, but we'll see what happens. I don't like the fact that it closed above VWAP, so I'm expecting this to end up being a wick and coming back green. So if you want to quote-unquote limit your losses, I would just start closing out positions right here because I do expect it to kind of go, but, I just came back from Vegas, so we're going to gamble the shit out of it.
All right, before I get you on out of here, Zunaid, I do want to go ahead and give a shout out. So one thing that we're trying to do, guys, and improve for you guys out there, I'm trying to work on some different value and bring in some different things to the show. So if you guys have some feedback, definitely go ahead and click this link. But mostly just go to it so that you can determine how the show runs. Really, you guys out there run this show. So this is a forum that I really want you guys to go ahead and check it on out. I'll put it up in the chat right now. If you're not taking trades at this moment, then maybe this would be a time to definitely check it on out. If you guys see here, it's going to ask you simple questions, nothing crazy. What do you want more or less on live trading, analyst ratings, newsletter? We're even looking at a daily newsletter here for this show that would get you a watch list from us, from Money Mitch, from Ryan, and YOLO Zunaid over here. So you guys smash the like, get towards that form. Let us know what you guys like. Do you like the background music? Do you not want it? Right here is where you can go ahead and drop your opinion. We're definitely going to take a look at this and make decisions. We're bringing some new graphics. We're going to talk about our positions. We're going to try to give them on the bottom here, graphics, everything that you guys want out there. But drop some feedback. Do us a favor. Check it on out.
Before I head out, go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
I was just going to say really quick, Will S., we do miss you. Good job trading those. We will see you back here whenever you are ready. And Justin M., great call on the merch for live trading. I can't believe we don't have it yet. I'm talking to my merch manager right now. I'm going to get the ball rolling on that. Nice DeLorean in your avatar. You
know what we need to do? We need to have cartoon faces of us on like a sweater. That's what we need. Facebook, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Facebook's going to be a break-even trade for me, slightly profit because we did scale out when it went over here, but NVIDIA is going to be an L for me, and Micron's going to be a slight L as well as it cracked above VWAP. So the first Facebook short, I got stopped out. You guys made money. Getting chopped up and screwed right now, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break.
All right, looking at Tesla work up there by 925. On the 1 minute, you're seeing a little bit of momentum slow down, but that doesn't really matter because the 9 EMA underneath it's still holding the 1 minute momentum. I'm watching off the 5 minute here, but you guys can be watching off of whichever time frame you want to be looking on Tesla right now. We'll see if it can continue to run. Appreciate you coming to hang out, my friend Zunaid.
See you guys,
dude.
Yeah, appreciate you. See ya.
We'll see you, my friend. All right, guys. It looks like there was two. So Ryan's probably going to be heading out of here in just a short little bit here. But Ryan, what do you think? Fed meeting tomorrow, SPY finding a little bit of a bounce today. How are you feeling? Are you feeling a little bit better about this market, or are you still kind of warning signs up?
Yeah, so I feel good about the market regardless. If we go down, we go down. I'm not necessarily concerned about that. I do want to see what happens, right? So I loaded up the calendar here in Benzinga Pro. This is how I'm going to keep track of when all of these different statements are. Remember, these times are going to be in Eastern. So tomorrow we're going to be looking for the press statement. We'll see how the market reacts to it, right? I'm in the camp. I don't think we're getting 7 rate hikes. I think this weakness will probably lead to some of the lower or fewer rate hikes, excuse me. So we'll see what they say tomorrow. I'm going to be ready to play whichever way this market goes. I don't really think that there's going to be any type of tradable direction other than day trades or scalps. In the meantime, I'm not going to play earnings prints until I have the data from the Fed meeting. So I'm not going to play Microsoft tonight. So I'm in kind of wait and see mode right now. The big important thing here is that you never panic. Always have a plan for whatever situation arises.
Yeah, definitely. One thing out there, guys, is that it happens to all of us, right? This market could seem like a Rubik's Cube sometimes. And so how do you trade around this, right? We need to go ahead and pick the right color, pick the right industry. Look for that rotation. That's what I'd be pointing out, guys. As a swing trader, I'm looking for rotations out there to continue making moves. All right, Ryan, we'll go ahead and get you guys on out of here. You guys smash that like. Let's keep on going. FOMC meeting is today, yes, but the fireworks comes tomorrow. That's why I kind of stated tomorrow when we get the Q&A and that kind of movement. There it was a little rip there in Tesla towards the high. I didn't get out there because I was kind of talking doo-doo over here, but don't worry about that, guys. Let's just keep watching here. Let's see if Tesla could continue working for us here. I'm going to bring on Devin in a second, but you guys got to smash up that like. Remember, we talked about it. We need 500 likes to continue going. We only have 320 right now. Do me the favor, smash that thumbs on up. Support us as we're completely live for free right here, guys, on Benzinga. All right, guys, SPY turning around there a little bit there at the 420, at the 432 mark. It's fighting to get back above. Really what we want to see is the VWAP hold here, 431s. I want to see that break on the downside here. But Tesla is pulling back here towards the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. I want to see that hold here, this 918 hold, and it get right back up there towards the high, take out that 930. We'll see what happens here. Definitely missed that little push there, but hey, that's how it goes. We'll see what happens here on that Tesla. Can it hold that 918? SPY coming back down towards that VWAP. We want to see it hold that VWAP if we're bullish right now and come back on up. We don't want to see a breakdown, let's say towards the 430s here. All right, what's going on out there, guys? How we doing out there? I like the videos. You like the video? Let's keep going, guys. Let's go ahead. Like the 3 dudes on the Pet Boys logo. Hey, let's keep going, guys, out there, guys. INTC looking good for pre-earnings dips as Webcoin. Let's take some stocks from the chat here before we get Devin on. You guys smash that like on up. We'll see if we get towards those likes. We're at 341. We need to get towards 500 here. Let's keep going. Master Stonks knows how it goes. S&P broadening wedge shows upside soon. Very high upside once it starts. We'll see what happens there. Like always, guys. All right. Watching here. What other stocks did you scoop? Additional McLaren parts. Justin asking me about the NFTs from McLaren here. I haven't. Yeah, I've been wanting to build the car, Justin, but sometimes like the steering wheel went too fast and I wasn't able to grab it. Now you can buy parts from other people, but I don't know if I really want to put together the whole car, even though I'm a big Formula One fan. All right, DWAC mentioned in the chat, XLF bounce I was looking for, says Jet. We'll keep an eye on that. JD says, share the video. Share it with your friends, guys. If you guys can do me the favor, if you look down on YouTube right now, you could hit the share button, bring it onto your Twitter, bring some friends in here. Let's create a bigger community of traders that are looking to gain a process and not just a chat room. This is not just and I'm gonna go and try to be as transparent out there. This isn't Warrior Trading. This isn't Tim Sykes, guys. We're trying to actually show you guys our process as traders. And why I can say that is because I've been in both of their rooms, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going. I found you guys. Thanks for going live, Kayla. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going. How do you guys like the music today? Is it loud enough? Do you guys want it a little louder? Let me know. Hood swing into earnings. Be careful with that one, Rich. I did see the lockup expiration coming out on Hood. I would wait for that one to happen first and then see if it can catch that bounce. Same thing for coin. Look for the lockup expiration. I think you're trying to call dips there, and it's just personally not something I want to be doing. All right, guys. I have a very small share size here of Tesla. I'm down about $5 on the name right now. We'll see if it can hold this VWAP. I'm not going to let it go underneath 915. 915 would get us out. We're looking for above 930. That'd be like a $30, $40 gain. We'll see what happens here. Voodoo won't even get into it, man, but don't worry about it. I've been there, done that. Now you can hear it, Christy. Hey, well, I can turn it up. I can turn up the levels. I'll turn it up a little bit more so we can jam out as we're getting towards the time here. Shannon likes it. Let's go. Smash on up. Hey, Dev, let me know when you're ready, my friend. You give me a thumbs up and I'll bring you on. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. You guys out there, smash the like. Let's keep going out there. We're going to go ahead and bring on a trader. One thing that we're trying to do is get you guys some different perspective. So just like we put out that form for you guys to give some feedback, if there's a trader you guys want to see on right here on Live Trading with Benzinga, we can definitely make it happen. Let's go ahead. One of the things I would say is, one of the things that we don't like to do is just talk about the big gains and stuff. What I really want to do is when I bring these guys on, I want to see into their strategy. I want to see into their eyes. What makes them move? What makes their strategy get themselves into the profit, into the green? These are the questions I want to be hearing from the chat. If you guys got a question for Devin, throw it on up. Let's go ahead. Bring on my man. What's going on? How we doing out there?
Yo, how's it going, man? How's your morning?
Good. Hey, not a bad day, not a bad day. Got a little bit of a gain on Lucid and then it kind of gave back a little bit, but hey, can't go wrong. This market is still a little bit choppy here. How are you feeling out there, Devin, in this market?
Feeling all right. It's been a pretty interesting start to the year. Had to switch a few things up going into this year, just based around my strategy and things like that. But finally getting into the flow of things and figuring out what's working. So it's been good.
Hey, that's what it's all about. Malcolm Hall calling it out. We want Dev. We want. Let's go. Let's keep it going. All right. So let's talk about maybe some trades you took today or this week. Doesn't need to be necessarily today. If you want to talk about a different trade, maybe it was just yesterday. You want to break it down, whichever way. Go ahead if you want. Bring up your charts and.
Yeah. I'll share a screen here.
Yeah. No worries. Take your time there.
So.
Yeah, try to keep the lo-fi tunes, JD's out there. So you gotta keep them. We don't need that that high techno right now because your heart's is gonna be pumping. One thing that I used to do, and it's kind of funny, but if you can match your heartbeat to music, it actually soothes you, right? Beats per minute. It's a thing, guys. That's why DJs pay attention to it. So, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. What you got there?
Here we have SPX pulled up. This is all I traded today. I didn't actually trade that Tesla move that you're in right now, but I totally had it charted out same way you did there. But we did end up getting kind of rejected up there at the high of day. But I traded SPX today to the downside off the open here. Had some really good setups here. So came down, made this low here, came back up. We were retesting that low, formed a flag. Got in around here, caught part of this move, not the whole move down, but caught part of this move to the downside here. And then I had this trend line here from yesterday coming up here, and then caught this move to the downside as well for the break of that. So a couple green trades today, pretty good morning. The main thing I've been focusing on, because I don't trade SPX a ton, but I'm starting to trade a little more. I usually trade bigger names like Tesla, Amazon, and a lot of these larger tech companies. And a lot of the ways I was trading these companies last year aren't working anymore. A lot of like the high up day breaks, the low up day breaks, the pre-market high, pre-market low breaks, and even things like flake patterns. A lot of
Added to Tesla. Sorry, Devin. Just
nice.
Added to Tesla. They're going to keep watching this, guys. Let's see if it takes out the 930s now.
Yeah, we got to get above 930 and then 933 on Tesla. Looks really good. But
what happened there, just to call it out there, you started seeing what? 919 and 918s. You started seeing again that 1,000 share flowing through on the time and sales. Not just 1, 2, 3 shares going through, thousands of shares flowing through there. That's what gives me that momentum look that, okay, I know my risk already. So now I can take the shot there. I'm seeing the momentum and I go with the momentum. And huge momentum coming in here on the SPY, guys. I got to call this out. Sorry about that, Devin. But yeah,
you're good.
Look at the SPY right now, guys. I'm going to put my chart up so you guys can see this volume bar on the 1 minute. Look at that. That's what I was looking for. That is a signal right there, guys. That you don't see often. When the volume changes 3 or 4 times the volume, that's when we want to be paying attention. What was the volume before that? 222,000. All of a sudden, you put it in the candle here of how much volume is here? That's 671,000. So what? 3 times the volume, you can start seeing some movement. That's what it really means. It doesn't mean that it's upside movement, but it means that you have now some juice in the move. Let's see if it can get moving here.
Yeah, that's a
all
good
right, Devin,
move.
I'll put your charts back up there. You
can
keep explaining some trades out there.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of leads into what I was going to say. Watching SPY and Qs and the VIX and just seeing where the overall market is, that's really been extremely important for me this year and for a lot of others, because so what I've been doing is I've been trying to figure out on a day-to-day basis what is strong compared to the overall market and what is weak to the overall market. And then I look for a move. So for example, Amazon's a great example. Amazon has been extremely weak compared to the overall market, and the overall market's been weak as well. But I've been noticing that Amazon, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that noticed this obviously, but Amazon has been absolutely tanking, especially last week, right? It was much weaker than the overall market. So what I do from there is I chart out different levels on Amazon that I'm looking for breaks of to the downside. And then I chart out different levels on SPY and the Qs as well. And I look for setups to be happening on both of those charts. So if I'm looking to trade Amazon to the downside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chart, let's say on this day, for example, let's say I chart out this pre-market low here, and on this day, I'm going to be looking for a break of that level to the downside to play puts, right? What I'm also going to be looking for is I'm going to look for Qs. One sec. Sorry about that. I'm going to look for Qs to break a level to the downside at the exact same time. And that's going to give it like a double confirmation for that break to the downside. So I'm looking at SPY, Qs, and Amazon in this scenario to all break levels to the downside around the same time. And that just gives me more confirmation that Amazon will flush with the overall market.
Yeah, I'm watching right now. I'm looking at to see the overall market, see what's going on in the sectors out there. We talked about it a little bit earlier, guys, how technology was down towards 1.75, right? And I take a look at the sector here, and I talked about how I wanted to see if technology could get back below that 1 mark. That below that 1 mark could show us that, yeah, there's some scooping coming in, and then we can get that ride on up. That's what I'm looking at it. Now it's down towards 115, and if you can actually see, now we actually have 2 sectors into the green from the open, which is energy and utilities. Watch how these slightly start going into the green. That's why I pay attention so much to the percentage from the open. All right, Devin. So one thing I wanted to ask you, a lot of your trades I feel are kind of more momentum day trades. You're using patterns to go off of that. I wanted to ask you, do you kind of look into catalysts? Is that kind of something that you call into? Are you looking for a catalyst to be in your stock? Or do you kind of not really worry too much about the news since you're so short term and are just more along trying to focus on catching the momentum out there?
Yeah, so I'm always looking at like every morning I'm reading articles and looking at different news pieces, but the main news that I'm looking at is overall market. Like we know Fed meetings are today and tomorrow, and that can affect the overall market depending on what comes out of that. But I'm always looking at things from a broader perspective of the overall market and how the news will affect that. And that will determine how I trade, whether I trade to the upside or downside. And then I totally look at news at an individual stock as well. A lot of times one of my favorite plays for news is we'll get some good news overnight. We'll see a big gap up and I'll watch for that gap and go play.
We're out to sell half here. Boom. Sold half of Tesla. That's 930.
Yeah, my alerts are going off like crazy on that right now.
I told you that spike.
Break 33 here. Oh, it's coming up on so if Tesla looks really good here above 933.50.
Yep.
We can break that level and hold that level. We have room to 944. But yeah, Tesla does not like being below 1,000 anymore. It really doesn't like it.
Hey, I love the chat out there. They were telling us, look at that Tesla coming in on that 930 there.
It. Yeah.
Boom, baby.
So volume on this. Volume is pretty high.
Yup. I mean, I saw at 31s, 2,800 sell there. Guess what? The guy took the same trade I did, but with 2,800 shares. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't do that one yet, Devin.
What's that? Like 2.5 million?
Yeah, right. I mean, 1,000 shares of Tesla would give me a heart attack. But hey,
dude,
who knows?
That's like
who knows
25 grand. It's like 25, 40 grand.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crap ton of money,
dude. Yeah,
be super leveraged.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, this thing is looking really good. I mean, so it's crazy because we broke out. I totally thought, we were flagging here. We got that breakout and it totally got slapped down from the highs there.
Super slapped. That's a lot of the volatility though, right? I mean, because if you look at a deeper time frame, you're going to see a little bit of a cleaner chart there. So a lot of times,
5 minute here. I'll pull that up.
That's what I try to look at. So I try to get around the volatility and these fake outs to the downside by looking at the bigger time frame, because as long as you're getting higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Look at it. It shows.
Look at that red candle too. That's totally a buy candle, like that big wick on the bottom.
It's just,
on the 1 minute, it's scary, but
exactly.
On this 15 minute, that's totally a buy candle.
It's also a color thing though. It's hard to buy on red candles. No, and we got to be honest. It is. Mentally, it's hard because mentally you're taught green is go and red means stop.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is why sometimes I've changed my color on charting before. If I really want to take away the emotions, I'll make the green candles white and then like the other candles like gray.
Just make them all white, all gray.
Grayscale it, man. When you grayscale it, I'll tell you one thing. Especially when I used to take scalps like with 1,000 shares, that put my heart at ease.
Yeah,
that put my heart at ease because there was too many times where I would see green, especially when you're scalping, right? You're so like on milliseconds that I mean, I'd see that green just a little bit of jumping on there, and then next thing you know, I'd be like, it'd go into red, and I'd be like, oh man, the FOMO's coming.
Well, even for like profit taking too, like. Say you're up nice on a trade, you should maybe scale out or just stay in it fully. And then that candle that isn't in your direction comes in and you're like, I'm out, taking profit. And then it like ended up just being like a red to green move and it just continued up,
Hex is saying, just flip the monitor, bro.
Yeah, just flip the monitor. I think what's interesting is like, the hard thing is with this is I trade options and, this fake out here would have been extremely hard to hold, or this like pullback here would have been super hard to hold through, especially after getting faked out here at the highs. Just the premiums would have gotten killed, but it like the stop really should be, below some of these previous candles here, especially below like this ascending support here.
It's looking good here. We'll see what happens, guys. SPY though is turning a little bit around here. It just keeps doing these kind of little fake out moves on up, but where did we hit the volume? So a lot of times where I'll start paying attention to is if we take a look at the SPY, where did that big candle come in and what was the low of that big candle. Why? Because to me, if that's a big buyer, right? If I'm a big buyer and I stepped up to the plate there on that candle, that low of that candle right now is 431.64. So what I start telling myself, and like the psychology of this is, that's his entry. Imagine if that was his entry. If he got the best entry on that candle, which was 431.64. A lot of times when you get a big buyer to step up, what do I always see? I see a lot of times pressure on that buyer. The market puts pressure on that buyer. Why? Because he probably went too big too quickly. And so it's going to test that level. And I love to see the test and then quickly into that direction. So if you saw a big candle green to the upside, then you see the candle come back towards that low, then immediately break back out above that candle. To me, that shows there. Big sizing right there. There's a bigger trader there that I can go off of. Now I'm trying to jump on his momentum, not necessarily my own, and seeing if the stock is going to continue to ride. Now the SPY is pulling back here to 432.27s. Let's see if it can get to that 431.64 and see how it reacts there.
Yeah, it's got this support here around 431.47. Do you guys have this? Do you have this massive wick here on your chart too?
Yeah, that's just too many times this happens, Devin. It's just an off exchange order. You know how like when you look at your level 2 and you see these like weird exchanges like NQBX.
Yeah.
That's that type of order going through. And so a lot of times that's an older order that's not really affecting the order flow right now, but it shows up on the tape. And how does our chart system work is that it sees it on the tape and it puts it on our charting service. But technically, the stock never traded down there. No. And so it can be really kind of something that affects your mentality more than actually affected the stock.
Oh, it's annoying too. It's just looking at it, it like messes with your chart, and like it shouldn't be this tall of a chart here.
Yeah, the logarithm, the charts all get crappy, and like the SPY chart for me right now, if I change it on anything other than a minute, it just looks like a line.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's because of that candle there. But one thing you can do is if you have a time in sales that shows you the exchange that the order is going through, you can actually go back. This is all dependent on how much you're paying. Are you paying for the total depth of, let's say, the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange? And you could actually scroll back and you would be able to see that, hey, that price went through on that. But look at the exchange. It's not the NASDAQ. It's not the New York Stock Exchange. It's some off exchange, and that will show you that. But really what that's all about is how much do you want to pay to have the data. I've talked about that earlier. Dennis tells me all the time, guys, you got to be willing to pay to have information.
Got to pay to play.
If you're a day trader too, especially, you know, I mean, if you're kind of more an investor, I kind of understand why you wouldn't have the total book depth. But if you're a day trader, you kind of have to be able to see into the market, see what's hiding out there. That's why we talked about a little bit about dark pooling, because especially as a day trader, you do run into dark pooling action.
So you traded Lucid today, you said, right? Mm-hmm. So Lucid's interesting on the daily here because we have this. I've actually been thinking about swinging a share position on this one because we have this supply zone down here, right here at 35.80. We continue to just bounce, and we have a hard time breaking below this level here. Every time we've came below, we've gotten bought back up, and this thing's been holding very strong compared to the overall market. It really likes this supply zone down there.
Yeah, everyone's getting caught up on that wick, man. You have no idea. We've had about like 50 questions on that wick. But yeah, that supply zone for me on Lucid, I was talking about it on Money Mitch. Well, I always think about it. If something rejects, it usually comes back to the opposite side. So I talked about how it's on the support. It could easily just spin back around and test that resistance. And so in a stock like that has a cult-like following, like, let's just be honest, like Lucid, if it keeps fighting a level, that could be where the bulls just keep saying, I'm going to take some more, I'm going to take some more, I'm going to take some more. And then you get that reversal momentum. That's what I'm looking to see what happens. Break it down on the downside, we could trade it to the short. Break out to the upside, we can take it to the long side. That's why it's hard to be flexible as a trader, but it's probably going to be the best thing for you, especially if you're a day trader, to be able to just understand these are the levels to the downside, these are the levels to the upside. what could happen here, and also understanding the risk to return here makes kind of more sense here.
Totally.
Because now you understand it. You've seen already a push on up, and you know where, okay, so if I get back above that big resistance up there, that where it struggled in the 45s and 50s, I would be feeling confident, man. I'd be like, all right, we're game on. This thing looking like it wants to go to 70. But so that's how you guys, I like to approach the swing trades there. Devin, how would you approach a swing trade here? And what would be your out to, let's say, if you went long, and what would be kind of your reward outlook?
Yeah, I mean, just to like let everyone know right off the bat, I'm not like an expert swing trader. I take swings every now and then, so don't take this advice to heart. But I would be taking a position.
I'll do you the favor. I'll throw the disclaimer out there.
Disclaimer. Let's go. Don't need anyone trying to sue me. I would be taking a position around this level at 35.80, anywhere around this level, and then I would add if we broke below this level and showed that we were getting bought up. Only if we're showing we're getting bought up, and then I would set a stop below, just below 34, so you're risking less than $2, and I would just scale out along the whole way every dollar to two move, and then I would hope to be out of half my position by like 46, and then I would let the rest ride from there. So because we could, if this support really holds and we come up here and we actually hold these levels, this thing would have no problem going back up to 58, especially if you look at the overall market and this thing is much stronger than the overall market. Huge supply zone down here, and the risk reward, like you said, just makes sense. Risking $2 to make 10 to 20, that's a 10R, 20R return. So,
yep. And those are the ones I like. One thing I've been looking at to see is, of course, if the market can catch some trend, because that could help us, especially for stocks like this that have some retail following, that are just kind of, you get these bulls that are just waiting to hit the buy button and add on to their position. They're just looking for levels to break so that they can get in it more and more. We'll see what happens here on the SPY at VWAP. Very important level. To me, I only would be looking at downside action below 430s, because that's where we kind of broke out of. If you could see on the 1 minute, we got above that level around the 430s. It was around 1026. And then we got above the VWAP, that we held it. We went above VWAP, below VWAP once. This is the second time. I always talk about how it can do this 3 times, and I don't want to see a close underneath there. It's okay to get wicks. It's okay to get even a slight momentum down, but you don't want to see it break, let's say, to that 430.
Heck yeah.
All right. Last thing I'll kind of mention here, and you can kind of let us know, is what are you looking forward to in kind of the next week? Like, is there any stock that's on your radar that you're looking for to kind of see what could happen, especially in the next week with the Fed coming in?
Yeah, a lot of it's unpredictable, right? Especially right now with all the Fed meetings and stuff. But overall, I woke up this morning, I expected a continuation up on a lot of these names, and we didn't get it. I had nothing on watch this morning. I was like, that's why I traded SPX. I'm like, I have Tesla on watch like always. I'm watching Amazon as well. But really usually I'm watching 10 names a day, and I just haven't been seeing a whole lot. We just need to see how these meetings go. But overall, I do think we could go in either direction, and I'm just prepared to play it in either way. Obviously, Tesla, I'll be looking at 900 if we can hold below that level where we got some room to the downside. Honestly, we could go all the way down to 800 from there. And then if we could totally get bought back up here as well and get back above 1,000, that'll get bullish again. Amazon, this thing was really interesting on the weekly chart. We broke below this 2,900 area support and became extremely overextended. So I'll be looking for bounce plays on Amazon as well if we can get above 2,900 and then above 3,000. And then NVIDIA has been very weak as well. So I've been playing this to the downside. I'll be continuing to watch this. I feel like this one was a bit extended. And then Roku, continuing to keep my eye on this here. We have this big falling wedge. Just want to keep an eye on this for if we do decide to break out of this. And then another one is Boeing. We're in this giant channel here on the weekly chart. We totally got faked out up here when the market got weak. It pulled it down. But we have this big channel. A lot of people are watching this, and we've gotten rejected up there quite a few times. So I'm going to continue to keep an eye on this. And then one last one is Shopify. Shopify did not like that break of 1,000, and it flushed all the way down to 780. And yesterday was insane on this thing, right? Like the range on this, I can't remember what it was. I think from the bottom to the top of the range was 20% yesterday. So keeping an eye on Shopify is definitely going to be key too.
Yeah, it's a huge one that has a huge move, but yeah, definitely it makes massive moves there.
Not easy to play. Not easy to play Shopify either. It's like if you're playing options on Shopify, just be careful. The spreads can be massive, like 10-20% spreads on these options. Just be careful with that.
All right, Howard asking about Neo for us. You want to take a look at Neo for Devin? I'll let you do it. Howard, we got you, man. No worries. We see you, man. No worries.
Neo does not look good at all. I mean, it's especially on the 4 hour here, it definitely looks like it's forming a bit of a bear flag and could continue on down, and it looks extremely
like a tracked trend there to me.
Yeah, I mean, and on the weekly chart, it's sitting here at the moving average here at the 200 EMA, which is a pretty key EMA that they use, that a lot of people use. So this thing doesn't look too hot, to be completely honest. It does look like we have, if we want to look at things from a very broad perspective here, this is a weekly chart. We got a little bit of something here, but it looks very weak, especially when it broke this 2750. It was kind of game over from there. That was a pretty key support there.
All right, guys, watching Tesla here to see if we're going to get this little breakout push. I wanted to show you guys what I mean by that time and sales with the 1,000 thing. So I'll show it right here, guys. I got to pull it up again here, but give me a second here. I'll get it back up. I had my screen off of Tesla there. But definitely, one thing I want to put out there, Devin, where could everyone kind of keep up with you and keep up with your trading? Let them know.
Yeah, heck yeah. I've been actually posting 3 times a week on YouTube. Let me pull that up here. And it's been really fun. I post a weekly watch list video every single week. And then I also, let me see here. I also post, wait, let me share. Can I share my screen here?
Got you. You're up.
Oh yeah,
You're
sick.
up,
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So I post on YouTube 3 times a week if you guys want to check it out. I post weekly watch list videos where I literally break down every single stock that I'm watching for the week, the levels that I'm watching, the patterns that I'm watching. I break things down on larger time frames. And then I also post 2 live trading videos every single week where I'm going over and I'm breaking down the trades live. I record all my trades, go back, review them live, and then I post them on YouTube. And it's been really fun. So if you guys want to check this out, my channel is just my name, Devin Winter. And check it out.
Check it on out, guys. Let's go ahead. We'll go up and throw up that link. If you can do me a favor, Dev, get that link up in the chat whenever you can, or just send it to me on Twitter. I'll put it up myself. It might block you from putting it up, but I'll definitely get it up there in the chat so that
I appreciate that.
Could follow up there. Definitely appreciate you, Devin. You'll be back next week, Tuesday. You guys smash the like if you guys enjoyed Devin coming on here and giving us his trades. Appreciate you.
We'll appreciate it. See you next time.
All right, guys, definitely smash up that like as we keep going. We're past 11, getting towards Benzinga Live. Yes, we're almost to that time. That's going to be 11:30 where we'll switch on over. But for right now, guys, let's see what happens here. I'm definitely in the battle zone right here. 918 is really that level that I don't want to see break on Tesla, that I'd get out the rest of the shares. We did take $40 on that upside move. So right now, if we kind of get break even on these shares or even $5 down, I'm not going to worry too much. Let's take a look here at Tesla. I also have here the time and sales. You see how these thousands? There's a reason why I have a filter for this. I'm really trying to filter out the bigger share size there. 917 showing us here. What we don't want is this candle to close beneath VWAP. So if we get a breakdown here, we'll go ahead and just get on out of the trade. SPY breaking down to the lows. So this could possibly get us out here right here on Tesla. Even if we lose a small amount here, we'll get on out. All right. Looking at a candle here, we're at 40 seconds. We got 20 seconds left on this candle. Want to see it recover VWAP. If not, I'll get on out. There's the breakdown of it. We're going to go ahead and just get on out there. There you guys have it. We're out there on the 913.04. Definitely took a little bit more than what we wanted there, but we still get a gain on the day, and that's what matters. All right, let's go ahead. Appreciate you coming on, Dev. Rivian, what do you say? Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Rivian. SPY coming down there. Just be careful, guys. You could see some weakness come into the market now, and I kind of see this kind of what head and shoulders pattern here. You could see this as kind of the neckline, and you could see here above as this is the head of the chart. That looks like a head and shoulders. Look for the neckline down here to break on the bottom side, which would be down through the 430s, coming down towards the 428s. Just be careful out there, guys, in the market right now. All right, let's take a look there. Rivian was mentioned by Zach. Let's take a look. Rivian is one that I think you're continuing the downside action until you see this trend break. I would really not try to catch that dip. There's a trend on the downside. It needs to get to, let's say, like the 70s first for me to even look at this. So personally, I would stay away. It's just like Hood. I don't want to get into this until it really kind of gets into the bullish mode, like above 15. So I'm going to say it's to stay away. Coin also, similar chart. It broke through the 52-week low, which is a good sign, at least if it comes back, let's say, strong through 200. But for right now, until it gets above that, I'm more in a wait-and-see mode for these stocks, especially if I'm looking for more like an investment. For a day trade, I kind of understand making a play for the day. Like if you look here on the 5-minute above, let's say maybe 185s, I would look for a long on coin if I was just doing a day trade. But to me, I'm looking at this more like a swing trade, and I would kind of avoid it. Just not really something I like. All right, let's go ahead. Good call on getting out. Looks like the 944 is in the rear view mirror. Yeah, you know, one thing you don't want to do is fight too much, right? One thing as a day trader that I've learned is that when I'm day trading, I'm not fighting the trend. I'm trying to go with momentum. So if it goes in my direction, we stay in the trade. If it doesn't, you get out. It's actually going to be better that you really focus on getting out. For me, I actually can have more losers than winners and still be into the green. How do you do that? You focus on profit to loss ratio, and then you can go ahead and make that next step up. All right, at Mitch from Yahoo Finance, YouTube CEO says the company will explore a NFT feature for video creators. That's a good sign there. Maybe you get a little bit moving in Google. That's what that would affect. So maybe take a look to see if Google makes a move on up today. And it is kind of having that resistance. So maybe you look for a breakout and a hold of the VWAP here and a push back above 25.75s. I personally am staying away right now, especially with the SPY showing some weakness. If anything, I would look for back for a lucid short here. And you can see that it actually broke down big there around this 37 level. That's where we were first going short, and we got a little stopped out near that level. Now it's really looking like it wants to break down here, go through the 36, keep flushing down there. Lucid looking weak there, guys. All right, guys, we've seen some breakdown out there. I'm also seeing AMD just break down. Some of these stocks are really breaking down and starting to look bearish out there. Just be careful out there, guys. Want to definitely put some warning signs when I see this action here. SPY looks like it wants to break through the 430s. If it gets through that 430, it could get towards that 428 level that we were looking at. Looking at puts for NVIDIA, that's not a bad look to look at, right? You're right by the VWAP. You actually got a head and shoulders. So this is actually giving you a good sign on the 1 minute that you could get a nice little breakdown here. Let's go ahead. Let's zoom back a little bit. I'll show you guys exactly what that look is. That's a push above here. You see the high. This is the head here. The shoulders are over here. So I'm going to draw a square. And you can see here how this looks like a head and shoulders pattern, which is a bearish sign for it to break down and continue through the 223s. We'll see what happens and if it can break that down. All right, let's keep going out there, guys. $18 for NIO. Let's take a look at NIO. It's not really my favorite, but yeah, it looks like it's heading on downward. It's looking like it wants to break through that low. Not a bad look there if you're looking at shorts there. Just study MRO and study oil plays. They've been at all-time high for months. Yes, oil has been at all-time highs, but I actually think this is eventually going to break down massively. But that's just my personal opinion, Zed. I can't blame you for looking at MRO. It's been a beautiful one. As you can see, I've been watching it since June 6th. So we updated this on September 20th. Which was right around this level, and we were looking for it to start getting on up, oil to keep pushing. And you can see here, this was right around here, and we really just started pushing on the 20th, and then got up there, up to a high of like about 55% there, going from around the 13s, 12s, all the way up there towards almost 20. Can you take a look at ATVI? I'll definitely take a look there. You guys do the favor. If you guys are enjoying the stream, do me the favor. Just smash that like button and support us as we keep going. All right, guys, I get into that 9:14 time. I want to go ahead and let you guys know we do have a form that I need you guys to help me out. Help me out, get you guys a better show. That's really what it's all about. I want to go ahead and take a look there to see if you guys can continue getting to that next level. And one thing that we're going to do is bring in more and more kind of value to this trade. You know, one thing I want to bring in here is I want to start doing a newsletter for us, a watch list. Really, we'll also talk about this watch list on Money Mitch, because that's kind of the swing trading show that we talk about. But if you guys want to join in there, definitely take a look at the description, or you can click it here in the chat. This is just a forum to find out some feedback about what you want on live trading. Remember, it's you guys that run the show. All right, let's keep going. Let's get to that stock. ATVI was mentioned. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I was taking a look to see what happened with ATVI. It's on up there, it's sideways, but it really doesn't want to go. I think that it might fill this gap, come down towards closer towards 77, and then get into that area where it's in between, and then you might see it come back. But personally, I just don't like it here. CRSR is one that I'm watching. Why? Because Logitech had some decent earnings, so look for this to maybe get strong. If you're looking for a trade to the upside, this is still in a bearish trend right now, so you just got to be careful that if it breaks towards the downside here, it could break down. But if we do get a nice little push on up through, let's say, the 1950s, I can see it getting towards 20, filling up that gap towards, let's say, 2056. So that's not a bad look if you're looking for a trade out there. Corsair Gaming is one that I'd watch above 1950s, getting up there towards 20 and 21. All right, SPY still battling, but we did get a nice little volume candle also to come back in here. So it doesn't want to break the 430s right now. We'll see if it breaks the 430s. You are getting a little bit of volume here. We need to see it rip on up. Smash that like. Let's keep it going. Tesla's back down to 900. Yeah, there's a reason why I wanted to get the hell out at Elite. I didn't want to hang around and get caught in, you know, a big drop there, and it's down towards that 914. I would only look at Tesla to the upside above 920s now. Above 920s, you could take out that 930. But for right now, it's kind of in the in-between stage. Really, it's all about the SPY coming in that in-between stage also, just hanging out there. Yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying here, Fabian. He said, Mitch, some of those growth stocks are so beaten up. It's not an opportunity to buy for long while depressed. ATVI, perfect example of that. I agree. You need to get these back into a trend before you're trying to take the bottom. So just be careful out there. Is the QQQ forming a wedge on the 5-minute? Paint Surgeon wants to take a look at. Let's take a look here. All right, so 5-minute. Wedge pattern, yeah, you do see a wedge, but I would actually call this more of a longer term pattern here. If you look back here, it just looks like kind of a bearish pattern to me. Why does it look bearish pattern? Because if you draw from this high here, from the 3061.45, you could draw a down angle through that up level, and then you can actually see how this is kind of going more into a bear flag. And that's the idea there. That's a bear flag looking down there. I just got an alert on bros to the downside. So if you're looking at this one, oh, it's actually My alert's a little bit wrong there. It should be to the upside, alerting me there towards the nice little push out there. Nice little breakout through the 46. Look for also Starbucks to be doing good there. I'd look for maybe this trade here. Yeah, that looks decent there. To get back above, you could look at a 936, 930 entry, looking to get back above to 997 there. I might actually trade this trade here for us. Here, let me see if I can get this trade here. I need a little bit of a pullback on the 1 minute, so I don't want to overextend myself by 40 cents here. It's actually be like by 20 cents here. So let's see if we can get into the 30s, and then I can take the trade back up there towards 97 here. Doesn't look bad there. Starbucks. What's good right now, Alejandro? Well, we're looking at the SPY. Really, now you got that reversal to the upside. I actually would look for some stocks to start getting strong here. So look at the SPY starting to push back on up there. Look how we're starting to get back above that VWAP and really starting to hold. We could take out 432s and take out the highs. There's that little bit of a fake out there at the 430s. Now let's see if we can really start roaring here. Starbucks is an option that I wanted to grab there at the VWAP. It's just hanging out there right now at the 96.50s. I'd look for a little pullback into the 30s before it takes off, but we'll see what happens there. Bros was what got me started on this. Look at that volume candle that just came on Bros. There's a reason why I got an alert there. It's starting to push on up there. We'll see if this one can continue to run. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. 15-minute has a nice resistance right above it, 46.73. You can maybe look for a scalp towards 48 there. All right, guys, want to definitely give a shout out to my man, Devin. Devin coming through, guys. Definitely, I want to go ahead and throw up his link here in the chat. You guys do me the favor, check out Devin and give him a subscribe. If you guys could do this a favor, he'll keep coming back here and giving us his outlook. Looks like Tesla trying to hold the 920 range. Yes, 920 is such a big part for it. I said above 920s, you could look at Tesla again, and you did get a little push out there above the 920s. That's where I would be looking for maybe an upside move again, but I'm going to stay away right now. Looking at Starbucks, already up there about 20, 30 cents from what we talked about. Not getting the pullback, so we'll see if we get this pullback now, but definitely kind of moving out there, but we'll see what happens here. Q's, looks like energy up 1.41 now, so definitely energy having a great day. All the big stocks are down, though. The big components like Microsoft. I talked about this, that you needed to watch Microsoft today and see what happened. Were we going to come back towards the 280 level, or were we going to get back above 300? 300 is where I start feeling confident in Microsoft. If it can't hold up here and it just keeps taking out lows, we got to be careful, guys, because if these bigger stocks break down, I just don't like the overall market, and it could keep coming down. Apple being talked about. Let's take a look at Apple. Did you take Starbucks already? No, I didn't. Reason why is that it just kept moving on up, and I don't want to jump into it and just get up there at 20, 30 cents. I was looking for a 20-cent pullback, but if it doesn't give it to me, it doesn't give it to me. How far will Disney drop? I'll take a look at that. Nice drop, nice bounce off that $40 level yesterday, Jay. Yeah, I was watching Bros, but I didn't want to get too early on it and bring it up for you guys. But that's why I had that set alert, right? Is to let you guys know once that moves there, then I'd take a look at Bros. Now it's starting to look a little bit better. We'll see what happens there. Apple, what's happening on Apple? Really, 162 has been a support here. The question is, are we running into longer time frame support here? So that's what I would take a look at. Actually pull this back here and kind of draw to this support here from the 22nd, or actually it's the 19th of November. And you can see how it held right underneath that. So for me right now, 158 is that level to watch for on the downside action. If it breaks 158 on the downside action, let's take a look here on the 15, 158 on the downside. That's what you don't want to see break. If it holds that, you can take a look for the reversal right back on up. If you draw this and extend this, you can see we're in a bearish pattern there, but we can easily get out of it if we start getting above here towards, let's say, the 161s. This also looks like a bear flag to me, and if it breaks down on the downside of 158, you could see some downside action. All right, guys, 11:23. Tell me what you guys thought about the music today. If you guys enjoyed the show, let me know in the chat, and let's keep it going. Apple will likely miss Q4 top line, supply chain issue in Q4. Yeah, not my favorite, really. Igor talking about the banks. I did see someone else talk about that earlier. I forgot who it was, but I'll definitely give it a mention. Let's take a look here at what the financial services, right? So let's take a look here. What is starting to move on up there in the financial services? And let's put it by capitalization so we can find a little bit some of these bigger stocks here. AXP doing well today. American Express. So if you want to take a look at that one, credit service doing great. So with that one, I would look at Visa and MasterCard. Look how these are starting to get moving here. MA is MasterCard. Sorry about that. So if you want to take a look at some day trades there, I would take a look at that. That's not looking bad. PayPal is another one that so many people are just waiting for this stock to push on up. Look how this stock has a 15-minute or a 5-minute kind of bear pattern here. But if it gets above here, above this, let's say 158, it could start roaring and getting on up there towards 161. Now Starbucks went towards a high there of 96.86, where I started calling it out was in the 40s. That went up about 40 cents from there. We'll see if that one could get towards 97, which was the target, but I wasn't able to get an entry on Starbucks. Smash that like, guys. We got about 6 minutes left. We'll be getting on out of here and getting you to Benzinga Live. First time on this show, Americas. Hey, well, do me the favor, man. Hit that like, hit the subscribe bell down below so that you can be informed the moment that we go live. Definitely smash on up, hit that bell. You'll be notified. Sark being called out. Yeah, I wouldn't be looking at Sark probably right now. Double bottom in Visa. Jonathan calling out. That's not a bad one to take a look at for the upside move. If the SPY breaks out here, I definitely would be looking. Double bottom. Yeah, you did get a double bottom in that Visa. It could continue to push on up. I like the trade there. It doesn't look bad at all. And that's it. I'm not really long on these kind of names, the Visa and the PayPal. I'm not really a long-term one right now on these, but hey, momentum's momentum. Looks like we finished the cup and handles for most stocks to this. This is a bullish sign now if the SPY recovers by the end of the day. Yeah, I agree. Awesome show, says Justin M. Let's keep it going. Killer music and always appreciate the knowledge. That's what it's about. You know, I'm definitely, if you guys also, if you want to test my knowledge, go ahead, guys. I'm not going to feel bad if you guys say something against my opinion. Go ahead, guys. That's what it's about. We're not just, nobody has the correct answer. We can only try to do our best from the process that we're trying to implement. Robert talking about AXP, not a bad one there. All right, there you guys have it. Starbucks trying to catch that bid there. We'll see if they can continue making a move. It's up there towards 96.71s. When we started looking at it, was in the 40s here. Look how it's already up there towards the 90s. Looks like it might take out 97. That would have been a great trade if we wanted to take it immediately, but we weren't able to get that 930 entry, which was what we were looking for, so that we could risk off of the 96 mark. Now you're up there towards almost 97 on Starbucks. SPY is important here as it's starting to get back above that 432. We don't want to see it come back to VWAP. We want to see this continue to be strong for the rest of the day. I definitely look at Apple to try to do a breakout on the upside. If that comes to the upside breakout, then it won't look too bad. I'll tell you one thing, though. It's definitely trading sideways, a little bit trappy today, Apple, as it's been going sideways here. I would use a bigger time frame, 15-minute or 1 hour, to get around that time frame, right? To get around the volatility. Draw it, give yourself a little bit more window to find out, hey, are you really breaking to the upside? Are you really breaking to the downside? Look for the momentum to come into play. And with that being said, look at the SPY. Look how trappy this SPY is today. SPY just did a little trap candle down, trying to trap people to start stopping out. We'll see what happens here at VWAP. I don't want to see the SPY get back below 430s for the day. Let's get to 420 likes from Mitch. Roy, definitely smash on that like if you guys are enjoying it. We're at 408. Can we get the 420s? Yes. Guys, I want to give you guys a shout out. Actually, for my 420 fans out there, I bought a David Goldstein. David Goldstein. If you guys don't know what this is, check it on out. Rooster apparatus. My 420 fans out there. Hendrix has the correct answer. Yes. I'll tell you guys what Hendrix is doing right now. Let's take a look here. Hendrix, you sleeping? Hendrix is sleeping. He said the market put me to sleep today, guys. So, hey, we'll see how I can continue going, guys. We're going to get you guys over to Benzinga Live. We're right there, guys. Yes, let's keep going. Let's go out there, guys. We're going to definitely smash on up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Do me the favor. I'm going to throw it up one last time just because we're trying to get more and more feedback right now as we make big changes coming into next week. We need you guys to support us. If you guys want to see a watch list, you guys want to see music on the stream, you guys want to get more out of live trading, this is where you guys go ahead and do that. There's a forum right there. I threw it up in the chat. Do me the favor, fill it on out. Let me know what you want. If it's a trader that you want to see, I'll definitely do the reach outs. But you guys out there got to go ahead and support the show by hitting the thumbs on up, filling out the form, and seeing you next time right here on Live Trading with Benzinga. I hope you guys enjoyed the day. And let's party on out, guys, because get you guys over to Benzinga Live. Let's go, baby. Boom. Yeah. Wrapping it on up, guys. We'll see you guys at Benzinga Live. All right, guys, just checking. I got this redirect on. I want to make sure I get you guys over to Benzinga Live. Looks like we got it on, and I'll see you guys on over there. Join us. Join Spencer. AB. We'll see what happens, guys.